Hi, welcome back to Immersion RPG. We are the Chaotic Knight Network, and we are here bringing you a live role-playing game using Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Hopefully you tuned in last week to kind of meet all the players and see what was going on. We're getting ready to go into our second session here, and everyone leveled up at the end of last week, and so we're going to go around the table and we're going to talk about what looks different on the characters this week. And I think we'll switch it up and we'll start with Amboth the Paladin.
Awesome. I got a little bit stronger and a little bit wiser, seeing as how last week I went down multiple times. I got knocked out by a sling, of all things, which was a little bit embarrassing, so I figured I need to protect myself better.
They were goblins. They
Well,
worship
no,
dragons,
no,
though, so it's
yeah,
okay.
They weren't it wasn't the goblins that knocked me out. It was the
Dragon Masters. They
Dragon
mastered the dragon. In
yeah.
the
They
group.
are masters after all. So my masters, which I'm a dragonborn, so makes sense, I suppose. But I figured I needed to protect myself better and also heal myself, so that our lovely paladin wasn't having to heal me or our lovely cleric wasn't having to heal me all the time. So
what did you gain at second level?
at second level, I gained spell casting finally.
Nice.
Because I need that so desperately to heal myself and to protect myself.
We know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the prediction for tonight? How many ones does he roll in?
I'm gonna guess 7.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't
I'm
think
just
we even
kidding.
get to roll that many dice.
I'm just kidding. We're gonna go with 4.
4?
It feels warm.
Four's
in here.
tonight's
0. No ones.
Aw, you're so
But I didn't
positive.
take divination, so I'm probably not going to be right.
Are you lawful good perchance?
No, I'm chaotic.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
All right, Knight. So let's talk about Lorik and where Lorik's at now.
Lorik decided to be an enchanter, so we went down. I got my magic affinity
Specialist school.
And I took enchanting, and so I get hypnotic gaze as an ability, and then I also gained 2 spells, gain additional spell slot, level 1 spell slot, and I took sleep and find familiar, so I will be having a raven follow me around.
Nice.
Yes, and I gained a whopping 2 hit points because I rolled a 1 and had to re-roll and 2.
Did we roll on camera or did we?
Nah, I think we rolled
afterwards.
Yeah, we did
So
afterwards,
I do a house rule that when you roll your hit points, if you roll a d6 for hit points, you get to re-roll 1s until it's no longer a 1. If you roll a d8, it's 1s and 2s, d10s 1 through 3, and then of course the barbarians get 1 through 4 on their d12s. So it just helps the classes feel a little more like that and gives them a little more staying power, so I feel less guilt when I beat on them.
Yeah, so I rolled a 2 and became an enchanter. All right, moving on. So I was hoping that to make stuff not hit us at all, rather than, I don't know.
Hit points aren't important if you're never hit.
That's true. If everybody's asleep, ain't nobody gonna be hitting on us. We could hit on them.
My charisma 16 says otherwise.
All right.
I mean, I'm pretty simple. I did the opposite of what Knight did. I rolled a 5, and I got a cunning action, and then I'm done.
Nice.
I could have used a 5.
I know, buddy.
That's okay.
Loper got a little more endurance with his spells and remembered how to channel divinity.
Nice. You rolled pretty good for your hit points, didn't you?
Yes, I think I got an 8.
You maxed out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a 7 because I have a +1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite max.
So Jermoyne got over his cold last week, so that was a good level up. I rolled a 6, which means now I'm at 22 hit points.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
He's a
And
tank.
I got action surge as well as my second level fighter thing, so that'll change something somewhere. I'll probably miss. That's Murphy's Law, second attack, action surge, you miss.
If the first attack misses, it's just some cosmic thing where the second attack will miss as well if you use action surge to try to to try to attack again and get a second chance.
Yep. Yep.
But that's what Action Surge does. It actually gives him a free action once between rest, and so it lets him attack twice. And yeah, it's a pretty potent fighter ability.
It is pretty rarely, especially later on.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, so where we left off, the group had awaken in on a tropical island in a crater with just scant memories of who they are. They'd experienced a flashback together where they saw themselves confronting a gold dragon, which ended in them sort of winning the fight, but then the dragon rose back up as an undead Dracolich, breathed necrotic energy on them, and then they woke up in their current state. As they started exploring the island, they realized that they had lost many of their memories, their abilities, their powers, their items had been degraded significantly. Everything's pretty much mundane now. And the world's a little different than they remember, too. And so they encountered some goblin sailors, pirates, and talked to them for a little bit before slaying all of them mercilessly. And in doing so, however, they got a little information about these guys called the Dragon Masters, who they then met later with these very short, somewhat dragonborn looking creatures that they'd never encountered before. After defeating them on the shore, they went and took the boat that they had left, the ship they had left out to sea, and encountered a guard creature on that, another draconian creature akin to a guard dog, and it ended up being a significant guardian animal. They did end up defeating it finally, and have taken the boat for themselves now, and they had one more shared vision of a city called Jarholm that they know lies to the west. And so we're picking up with them now. They'd spent a little time repairing their boat, going back ashore to bring supplies on to try to repair the boat, get it a little more seaworthy, which is apparently what the original inhabitants of the boat were doing. And now we're at sea. So it is your first night at sea. You've taken a little bit of time to, clean out the lower holds and remove a lot of the goblin filth. And the charts and maps that you have found are all written in Draconic and look like early grade school drawings for the most part. Very hard to decipher. A lot of them don't make a lot of sense to you. One thing that does stand out, though, is that the land masses are different than you remember. Smaller. Of course, that could just be the artist responsible for drawing the maps. But yeah, we're gonna pick up with a nice, calm night at sea, and you have kind of a moment reprieve as your thoughts kind of break free of the jumble of what's going on, and you have a moment all together on deck.
Are we headed west?
I'm not the one to ask on that one.
That's fair.
I'm horrible with the whole navigation thing.
Are we headed west?
Is anybody trained in survival? I believe that covers tracking.
Yeah.
So you are probably the navigator then.
Okay.
So yeah, you can say with reasonable certainty that you are headed west.
Yes.
Nice.
He guides our spirits and our physical bodies. I like this. I think we're going in the right direction then.
Excellent.
So you can read the map though, right? Like you can give him the directions he needs to make sure that we stay on course.
Yeah,
Other than, are we going west?
this is mostly chicken scratch. Pretty bad drawings, I think. But
I meant
But
the
I think we
actual
can-
words.
yeah, I can read the words. They don't make tons of sense, but I think we can figure out what we're doing and where we're going. So
We need to
know.
get to this Jarholm. Everybody had that vision.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd like to go home.
I agree. I'd like to see what's become of
Oh, that's what Jarholm is.
Yeah,
what's become
it's
of
my
our
home.
Very well.
I think it's a great place to start. Maybe get some answers.
Can you see it on one of these maps? What is it?
It might be right there where finger painting is.
Yes, like you think you know where Jarholm is on the map. But once again, this map looks different than what you're used to it looking like. So
Okay.
To your best guess, yes, that would appear to be it.
Okay. Yeah, we can figure out mostly. I'm not 100% sure just because things look different according to this map than what we're used to. But let's do
Why
this.
do you think that is?
I don't know. These Dragon Masters are clearly pretty horrible drawers, scrawlers.
Photographers.
Yeah, cartographers. That one.
This big word.
Yeah.
Just checking that. Dragonborn.
Yeah, they're really bad at drawing. So I think the best thing for us, you're the smartest one here. I think you should really second guess me on this. But I think we need to get a good night's rest. I'm exhausted from whatever happened to us, and then today's events has been just exhausting.
Gosh, all I've wanted to do is take a nap.
We know that so well.
Just
So
letting.
let's take a super long nap. What do you guys say?
Yes.
We cleaned up downstairs a little bit,
You have.
so
You have.
I'll stay on the deck with Loper.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Unless he wants
sleep
to
on the
sleep.
deck. I
Sleep on
don't.
the
I don't want
Oh,
to be
you're sleeping
confined.
on the deck? Okay.
Okay.
I'll sleep down below.
Okay. And
I may sleep down below as well.
okay. So you two go down below deck, and you hear a noise that you didn't hear when the ship was kind of just, back anchored in the little off the beach where you were before. And it sounds kind of like glass knocking together. And you guys hear it immediately when you go downstairs. It's not loud enough that you hear it above decks. But your attention is drawn then to what you thought was just a bunch of netting that had been rolled up and hung on the wall. But now you hear this glass kind of clanging from inside of it.
What is that?
I don't know. I'll go inspect it, eh?
Let's go check it out.
All right.
Okay.
We'll go with him and
I gotta be careful though.
So you have about a 6 foot roll of netting that's just hung on a couple of hooks. But you can hear, inside of it.
let's unroll these hooks. What do you say? Or unroll this netting and let's do it real slow because if something else like one of those lizards jumps out again, I'm out.
Put the hammer down just where it's within a quick little reach.
All right. So carefully, either one of you on either side, unroll the netting, and there's these 4 large glass orbs. They're kind of a pale, milky white in color, and then they have like a silver cap on one end with a hook that comes off, so like a Christmas ornament basically. But they're about a foot in diameter. They're fairly heavy, about 8 pounds each. And yeah, that's what was stored in here.
Could they floats for the net?
I think we need
They're
to go
pretty
get
heavy.
Lorik.
I mean, if they're even if they are full of air, they probably still stay afloat. But yeah,
Let's go get Lorik. See what's going on. I don't like this kind of business.
They're attached to the net or no?
no, they're just stored inside the net. Taking one upstairs.
Sure.
What do you do with the other 3? Because it is on a ship. You're gonna hook them into the net again, roll them back up.
I'm gonna
let 'em
stay
just roll
down
all
here.
over the place.
I'll stay down here with these and just start securing them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Drimoyne comes back onto the deck carrying this white glass globe.
Hey, water. You have any idea what this is?
Is there anything in it? It's just empty.
Yeah, it's empty. It's pretty heavy. I mean,
Oh, the cap
it's a metal
top right here.
metal cap, and significant
metal
amount of
cap.
glass. Yeah.
Do I need to check?
Yeah.
Memory or
can,
magic?
You can make an Arcana roll and see if you can remember anything about these or
15
total.
total.
Okay. You're not really sure what it is, but you've seen this type of glass before, and you know that it requires sunlight to operate.
The glass seems familiar. We probably are going to have to wait until the morning, though. It is nighttime.
Yeah, it is nighttime
Okay.
right now.
Till the morning, because as I recall, it has to do something with the sun. But I'm not really sure whether more or just the one.
There was another 3 more of these, so
Oh.
total 4.
Are they safe? They look fragile, so
They were wrapped up in netting and stuff, so
okay.
we'll wrap them back up, I suppose.
So maybe wait for day and we'll check them out.
Yeah.
They require sunlight
Sunlight.
specifically.
As I recall, it's very hazy. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but just from my recollection, they have something to do with sun. So I don't think we're gonna be able to get anywhere with them this
And the
evening.
sun's set.
Yeah, it's already set.
Then we will wait.
Probably better steer the boat. How far is Jarholm? Did we ever figure
Your-
that out?
Best
Is there a
guess
map
is
in front?
about a week.
A week?
Yeah.
Oh boy. On the boat.
All right, so the night passes fairly uneventful. Oh, yes.
Can I scour and see if there's like weapons or cannons or anything on this boat at all?
Nothing like that.
Nothing
Just-
like that.
just
Okay.
yeah, there's probably a few more, those crude cutlass scimitar weapons that the goblins were
Okay.
using. Some
Nothing
whips,
crazy.
but all in pretty poor condition. Nothing that you'd be eager to take even to a marketplace to sell.
Sure.
Not being familiar with goblin boats in real life, is there a way to lock the position? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll drift a little bit.
Yeah.
But do I have to stay up all night? And
No, you can hook a rope around the
Okay.
around the wheel and keep it steady.
Before I actually go to sleep or whatever, I kind of wanted to put all my equipment out, and I have some smith tools and stuff too. Just wanted to inspect them to see did I craft some of our stuff before?
Some of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just see if there's stuff I can do to help
Start
bring it-
taking some of the rust off and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start taking care of it.
Yeah, not a problem.
Awesome.
All right. No one dies that night. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's very happy.
Woo.
The next morning,
We didn't even have to roll. No, don't.
Oh.
The next morning brings blue skies, a few clouds, but nothing to bring worry. You have a steady breeze still, and you're still headed in the right direction as of this point.
Jermoine, do you still have that orb?
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
You guys are loud. I was dreaming of shiny things. And I get up disgruntled.
that orb. Let's take a look.
I've got 4 shiny things for you.
Ah.
I like shiny.
They don't emanate any sort of evil that I can sense as a paladin,
No,
correct?
they do
Okay.
not.
Cool.
So yeah, you bring the orb up, and
We bring all 4.
Yeah, well, I'll bring up the other 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you're you got an armload, and they're big though, about basketball size.
Don't drop those.
And so you don't see a difference in them, but when you bring them into the sunlight, they kind of reverberate in your hands, like a low hum. You don't hear anything, but you feel the vibration in them.
What do you think these things, there's a hook on these things. Are they supposed to be hooked on something? We've got a
I don't
mast
know.
up here.
Maybe we should search the boat again
All right.
for something they might go on, but this boat isn't that fancy. I'm not for
Well, they
sure
were-
they're going to be anything.
So they were on netting
They
before.
were in the nets downstairs.
Yeah. I don't know if that was maybe just to protect them, or maybe if it was just because, or if there's maybe they go in the water or something.
This is
What if we try to put one in the water? We go in one of the little boats, and we just try to see what it does in the water.
Does this boat seem like it was captured by our enemies, or that they made it?
It looks like it's probably made by them. It looks more
Okay.
skilled than goblins, but not as skilled as most of the other races.
Okay. Thank you.
What do you think?
Dragon Master.
Well, you could have the halfling take one down into the water.
I can swim.
Daba.
Okay. Okay.
Just pick her up and throw her in.
Hey now.
Oh,
I'm not gonna do that.
okay.
I am
Okay.
probably not wearing my armor.
Okay.
We'll just say that.
Okay.
I'll go in a boat, but don't throw me.
Don't throw her in.
All right, I'll go with you so I can paddle the boat.
That's probably a good idea. I don't really reach.
Yeah, I'm okay with that kind of stuff. So let's get it down in the water. Lorik, what do you think? Should we like hang on to the hook and just kind of see how it floats in the water?
Yeah,
If it,
take a look, see if it floats or if it does anything if you put it in the water.
you seem to be more akin with this kind of stuff.
I just have
So-
a vague recollection. They're
Okay.
reverberating in the sun. Do I sense anything magic about them? I can detect magic if you really want me to.
There we go.
That's what you want me to do is cast a spell.
Is it a cantrip or is it a first level
No, it's
spell?
a first level.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
a,
have
it's a,
it done, so.
Well, you don't have it on. Okay.
It's ritual, though.
We
Oh, you
do it.
could do it as a ritual out of your book. It takes 10 minutes, but doesn't
Oh, we could do that.
doesn't
instead.
exhaust the spell slot either. I don't believe.
No,
so
not when you ritual it.
okay.
All right.
So yeah, before they go off with their boat experiment, are you going to do that, or are you going to stay with the 3 and let them go off with the 1?
I stay with the 3.
Okay. So they can go do their water
just see what happens with the water.
Because it takes 10 minutes to cast your spell.
Yep. I'm gonna chill with these 3, and see, and
Okay.
see if there's magic about them.
Okay.
Actually,
Cool.
a giant chunk of potassium. This is going to go bad.
Purple flames.
So you guys lower one of the little, I'm not calling them longboats, the short boats into the water.
Like a dinghy.
They're
Yes,
dinghies.
the dinghy. You lower the dinghy into the water, and then what do you do with the orb?
I have short arms, so I'm gonna point and I'm gonna tell him that he should just kind of hold it by the hook into the water.
Great. I believe I have. Let's see. I'm gonna. Do we have any rope that I could kind of tie onto
There's
the hook?
plenty of rope aboard a ship.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna use some of that rope to tie onto the hook
Okay.
and wrap it up the best that I can,
Okay.
so that it wouldn't come off. And I'm gonna just very gingerly place it in the water and see if it floats or sinks initially.
Okay. So the metal side immediately goes to the bottom. You know, that's the heavier part. And it sinks about 3/4 of the way, but it does stay buoyant. It's a little bit of the ball still resting above the waves.
So it's like a buoy.
Kinda. But you think too much weight on it would pull it under pretty quickly.
I wonder if they use it to catch fish.
Or to light their way. Light always shines through the darkness. So maybe
Yeah,
they're
but are you
lighting their
saying
way.
that it traps the sunshine?
That's
Like a magic
exactly
lamp?
what I'm saying. Because I'm a genius, and yes, it traps the sunlight.
I'm just happy it didn't explode.
I should have gone on the boat.
We're okay down here.
Thanks for your concern.
I wasn't concerned. I'm meditating.
I'm just watching.
So you're up there watching. I'm going to go ahead, because I love making you roll dice, I'm going to have you make a perception check for me really quick.
This will go well.
It's a DC 8. It's a really high one.
Oh, telling you the number
Okay.
before you need it.
So I got a 13.
Okay. So as you're there, you're kind of like arms rested on the side of the ship looking down. You look over, and there's this large silver, just like eye hook sitting there, like in the side, where like you could put a hook from a big glass orb.
I keep watching.
Right kind of in the middle alongside the ship.
I'm entertained, so I keep watching.
Sure.
Cool.
Are you
Any
sure
other
they don't
experiments
use
you
it
guys are doing while you're
to
down in the
catch
water, or-
fish? Because just think, if we put a net in when there were fish in it, it would weight it down.
I've gone fishing one time in my life, and I did not catch a single fish.
I'm about as big as some fish, so it's not something I'm good at.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm gonna try pushing it down under the water, just a little bit, and to see if it's really easy to push down.
It's fairly easy to push down.
Okay, so nothing special there.
And it pops right back up.
It does pop up.
I don't know.
See, it's like a bobber.
I don't know what that is, but I think it sounds like a cool idea. Might catch fish. Like it's got a
Fish
hook
like
on
shiny
it.
things.
Okay.
So while you're meditating, are you like
That's-
bogarting all three of them?
No, they just have to be within 30 feet of me. So
It probably has like a little nest of netting made up so they don't roll away from them if the ship moves. And there's the 3 orbs in front of it.
so it's been 10 minutes.
I think he's taking one before your 10 minutes is up. That's
I'm
what he's
in
saying.
the middle of meditation.
So is there anything else you want to try with this thing? Because so far
we gonna do
we
with it?
have some ideas, but
Go
it's
hang it on the
nothing
neck.
concrete.
Okay. Yeah, it
What
hangs-
if we
it
try your
hangs,
sunlit
and there's like
idea by taking one downstairs?
it rests right up against the wood, so it does
And
kind of
seeing
like
if it
knock a little
glows.
bit
Yeah.
as the ship
That's
goes.
what I
so
was
you're
thinking
kind of like
first.
if this is like a storm or something happened, it got
think
too
that's a good
violent, it
idea.
might break them. But it looks like
Let's
this is where they would.
Do it.
Like it seems like a place. In fact, like even
You're
looking
gonna
at
have to
the
row us back.
at the wood, like the wood looks a little more worn, where it's like it's rubbed against it before. So it looks like this is definitely a place where one would be hung.
If I put like my cloak or a blanket over it and I look in there, does it glow?
So you'd like totally putting it in the dark?
Yeah.
Yes. It starts to glow a little bit.
Actually, I put it back
Okay.
and I keep watching.
We're coming back.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
and
guys-
he's pulling us back up. We're gonna take it downstairs to see if it glows, cause it's dark downstairs.
It does. Very, very faintly.
It
Like-
hasn't charged enough.
And that was the same with yours, like very, very faintly.
It needs more sunshine. I think it captures sunshine, and then it radiates it.
What do you think, Lorik? Oh, he's deep in meditation.
Yeah, he's deep in
still?
meditation.
I gotta
Okay.
be done now.
Yeah, well
Swimming for 10 minutes. You guys,
you come out, you
either that or
finish
you're
casting
really
your
fast
spell.
at boats.
You finish casting your spell, and yeah, they all alight with magic. And I'm going to give you a second Arcana roll based on what you can discern from its aura.
19.
Okay. Yeah, you're fairly certain that what these do is they do capture sunlight. That they need to be out here for about 3 hours, and then they'll stay alight in the darkness for 8 to 10 hours afterwards. Also, you think they act as a deterrent against the undead while they're glowing.
I've had a revelation.
And
They're lights.
Hey, we figured that out.
I know. I spent 10 minutes and you figured it out in the water. It also has some kind of deterrent for, I think, bad creatures, likely undead.
I mean, I'm all about a bright light that keeps me safe from dead things. I'm bite-sized.
I mean, I look around like it makes me a little nervous. Is this?
But
We gonna
nothing's
run into that?
threatening.
Cause
is there many of them?
Out at sea?
If
I don't know where you're gonna put them.
a bunch of goblins has 4 of these things, and they're a deterrent for the undead,
That's concerning.
that doesn't worry me much, but it might worry you guys some. So,
Are we not in a place where dead things stay dead? Because that's concerning for me.
Yes.
Last time I checked, dead was supposed to be dead.
I agree.
That's not always
Stated.
how it works.
How the undead happen, but like just out at sea? Like
That's where I'm like, is what's happened? We don't know. We don't remember. The world seems to be turned topsy turvy, and is this something we have to protect ourselves from now?
The dead can't swim, can they?
Yeah, they can swim.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, boy.
Do they float?
That worries me.
What if they don't have flesh? Don't bones sink?
That's a good question. I don't even know that.
Why would they swim?
So I guess everybody gets to hold one except for one of us.
oh, there's little eye hooks right here. You just hang it right here.
Oh,
It's off the side of the ship.
Okay.
So it would like illuminate the side of the ship and come onto the deck as well a bit.
so we check the other sides or
Yeah,
4 of them.
there are 4.
Look,
there
there's
are
4
eye
of them.
hooks
It's
spaced
like it
around
was
the
made
ship.
for it. It's amazing.
It is.
Let's let them soak up sun, and we'll have them for the evening. I don't know what else to do with
Wow.
them, but they are
I'm
magical
so glad we
as
didn't
well.
die last night.
So,
There's creepy dead things.
and we didn't even have the lights up, or these orb things.
I slept on the deck.
No, we didn't break them open.
Yeah, I mean, I say we hang them up.
Let's
Let
hang
'em-
them. Let them get some sun
Yeah,
and sail on.
I agree.
Sail away.
All right.
Well, we have been. I've been
I know.
sailing this whole time. It's not like we stopped.
The day passes relatively peacefully. The gently rolling waves and sunlight. I mean, you take turns probably below decks as well. After a while, the sun can become a bit oppressive. But after about 3 hours, these glass orbs stop that reverberation. They're nice and charged up. And evening rolls in. You guys hanging up your lights around the ship as it starts to get dark. And they cast a very pleasant, but like I said, dim glow. It's not very bright. It's bright enough that you could read by it, but it's not like blinding light. But it does feel really soothing, even just to be around them. And it's enough that it covers all the main deck of the ship as well, the placement that you have on them. And all's going really well, which is the prelude to things not going very well, of course.
I was about to say, that's the part that makes me suspicious.
A little bit after midnight, the wind shifts on you. It has kind of a colder, colder breeze coming through all of a sudden, coming out of the north. And your winds shift completely, and you start to lose a little momentum on your ship. And it's hard to notice at night, but you do notice the stars beginning to blot out in the distance as the storm clouds roll in. The climate you're in is still fairly warm, even at night here. Probably drops to the low 70s, and before long, just big fat raindrops start coming down. They're also warm. But the waves pick up right afterwards as well.
Pull the lights back in.
The ship starts rocking a little more, and the globes start bumping against the boat.
No, he pulled them in.
Okay, so that's so you start wondering, where are you going to store them? What are you going to do with them?
This story didn't go
right
any
back.
further.
What's that?
Trying to put them right back in the net. Maybe wrap them up in like an extra cloak or blankets or towels.
Okay,
if we
so they
have
don't get smashed or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So am I awake? It's like midnight.
It probably wakes you up. The violent change to the motion of the
Okay.
ship.
So I'm gonna get on the wheel, and then I ask Steven, Dava, and Lorik to get on the mast, and they're gonna help me adjust through this storm.
Okay, so you got your two helpers there.
Yeah.
The two weakest people on that ship.
I'm like hanging from a rope.
Where are you going to store it back down would seemed like a safe area where they could sway a little bit and not hit the wall too hard with the netting.
Yep.
Okay, so you store those. What are you doing?
I'm gonna see if they can use any assistance. I'm just
Yeah,
kind
come
of putting
take the
around.
mast from me. This thing is getting a little jiggy.
Okay.
I'm not a lot of help, as
roll-
I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
a paperweight. on
Yeah,
the-
I'm gonna go help out the
Okay, so
halfling
no, I'll just hold
Dava
on to mine then.
because I feel like it should
Are you
probably
going
get
back
thrown into the water.
Are you
or
wearing your
something.
armor at this point?
Yeah,
too?
probably.
Yeah.
It doesn't really impede you in swimming because this is D&D 5e and has its own physics.
That's a good point. So yeah,
You're a little nervous about being thrown overboard still in choppy waters at night
right. Yeah, there's that.
with ships that carry globes that ward off undead. But there's nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Can I put one in my pocket? Like my big pocket. Just keep it.
Just hook it on your belt.
Right.
We all, in our gear had a rope, right? I guess not.
It depends on the pack that you had. Different packs come with different gear.
I have a rope.
I think.
But we have lots of rope on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
So I tell everyone to tie themselves to the ship so that if there's any sudden waves, they won't follow. Or at least it'll slow them down.
No sooner said than the first wave crashes over the ship. It's not strong enough to take anybody off their feet even, but your point is made
Right.
very clearly.
I was about to ask if you thought it, but that was bad.
I'm gonna check on the halfling immediately.
Okay.
Because that's
I'm still here.
okay.
And I pop up.
Roll.
And as I fasten the rope around my waist and then tie it to a slightly, what I would consider a taller place to give me more range of motion,
Okay.
so I don't get caught on anything. But what would be about head height for everyone else?
Okay.
My version of tall is different than everyone else's.
Hey, Lopar, how bad do you think this is?
It seems like we are going into the storm instead of away from it.
It's not like hurricane season or anything. Like, where are we at?
Not
We
that I
hope
know
it's
of,
not.
but you may recall that we all lost our memories the other day, so.
But I'm gonna wrap the ropes to the mast that I'm manning. I'm gonna wrap them around my arm the best I can, and just wait for Loper to give us instructions.
All right.
What to do.
So, you came up from below decks right afterwards. He was helping Dava out. Ambath was helping Dava out. You were dealing with your own side of all the riggings and everything as well. You're steering the ship and kind of put you close to him.
Yeah.
And as it's like really rocking hard and going back and forth, as it like the ship kind of comes down to the side, like touches the surface of the water for a moment. And then two pair of hands grab the edge. And as the ship rights itself, they come vaulting over onto the ship.
So before or as this is happening, I also grab a rope and I make sure that Lorik is also tied to the ship.
Lorik tied himself, yeah. He was on it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's concerning.
All right. And go ahead and there we go. And so these two just real pale, gaunt figures, very human looking, but like they haven't had a good meal in way too many weeks, are on the ship. Their fingers are webbed, and as are their toes. They don't have like gills or anything though. But as you stare at them for just a moment, as they come on and they're staring back at you for just a moment, you also realize they're not breathing. They're not taking in air. They're not.
I think I figured out how they don't think.
Do I sense evil from them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
nervously
with a growl and like a feral just like hunger emanating from them, they begin lurching towards you. And we
Where'd you
will
put
go
my
ahead
light?
and roll initiative here.
That's
I'm right
downstairs.
here.
It's safe.
Yeah, where are you at?
I'll be right back. I will get late. Oh, look, man.
There we go. Ooh. Put this right over here, touching your stuff.
He likes it.
All right, Ambath, what do we have for initiative? Ambath?
Oh, sorry, 5. Whew. I'm scared of these guys.
All right, Lorik?
22.
Nice. Good roll. Dava?
14! I do not like them.
I mean, nobody really does. That's why they're here.
I would like a light,
6.
please.
6.
You're further away. You gotta steer the ship.
4.
Okay, let me see.
I'm not the slowest one.
I am going to run them as a group, so I'll roll single initiative for them. And they are going to go at 12.
They don't like us.
So, Lorik, you're first.
Untie myself and run downstairs.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
screaming or?
Nope, with a purpose.
With purpose.
Oh.
With purpose.
The raven stays on the deck.
Okay. Dava.
I'm gonna poke it with a rapier.
All right. You step right up and show it who's boss.
Or not. With a solid 9, probably not.
Yeah, so as you go up to stab it, the ship just lurches for a moment, and you find yourself stabbing the side of the ship,
Darn.
which is nice because it keeps you anchored there as the ship kind of goes that way for a moment, and then it goes back. You withdraw your rapier. And it looks totally intentional, though. However, that has left you in front of this very hungry man.
Oh, I'm bite-sized.
You are bite-sized, that is true. However, it is not going to attempt to bite you. It slashes at you with a claw.
Super rude. I bet you it'll poison me.
17.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
So that's how we're going to start today.
And so it begins.
Last week he started slow, so maybe we'll go the opposite.
Great.
All right, so it hits you for 7 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
And then I am going to need you to make me a DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, that is not a good dice.
You're not taking my
Yeah,
wands.
nope.
Okay. And so you feel your body go rigid, and you fall to the deck,
At least I'm
completely
done.
paralyzed.
Oh.
Well,
And then this one comes up to our friendly neighborhood paladin, running past to allow his friend his meal in peace.
Enjoy.
Ooh. 13.
Ooh, miss.
So it tries the same thing, like comes up and like it tries to scratch you with the claws, but your armor just is impenetrable to it at the moment, or hasn't found a weak spot to get through, and it seems kind of confused, like it's not used to fighting people with armor on ships. And but it fails to find a hold on you. And then it is Loper's turn.
Are they within 30 feet of me?
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they both are.
Then I will raise my holy symbol and say, "Get off my ship!" and channel light.
Nice.
They have to. I think it's a wisdom. I had it just a second ago. It's a DC 13 wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And what do they? What happens if they fail?
They will run away.
They'll run away on their turn, or does it happen immediately?
It's turned. It spends its turns moving as far away
Okay.
as possible.
Okay. Fair enough. So the one that just tried to eat the paladin looks very terrified of your light and like it wants to get out of there very badly. And the other one, same.
Okay.
And then it goes to the paladin's turn.
I
This thing's now like it's like putting its hands up and it's shying away from Loper and hissing in displeasure at this light that's shining down upon it.
by the power of the gods, I will smash you.
Do not attack them. Let them flee.
I'm smashing them.
Okay.
I can't let this thing live or
Make your roll. Does that break
Unlive?
it?
It does.
Okay.
14.
That will hit.
Okay. And no.
Are you gonna smite?
Oh, maybe it doesn't.
What?
Do your thing.
Oh, okay. No, I'm not gonna smite it.
Okay.
But it does. With my leveled up, I got a great weapon fighter, so I get to reroll 1s and 2s
Okay.
on my damage rolls, which I rolled both a 1 and a 2.
So
Do we get a replay?
That's boxcars.
Oh, nice.
Does this? No, this is a 1.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
bad.
Do I always reroll my 1s and 2s?
You can't
No.
reroll a
No,
reroll.
you
Oh,
can't
okay, okay. So that's going to be 10 damage.
All right. So you swing your maul, and this thing's agile, and so you just clip it, I mean, you connect and it kind of turns a bit, and you feel like a little bit of a solid hit on it, but it kind of rolls with it. You do damage to it, but you have a feeling it can take a few more hits like that.
Okay.
So I was wrong. Hitting them doesn't break.
Does not
the
break it?
turn.
Okay.
That's a Pathfinder thing.
Okay. All right, and then Dramoin. He did yell, however, don't attack it. So I mean, you can,
Take that highly well.
I'll move up to be beside the paladin, but I'll just go completely defensive and
okay.
just kind of make sure.
Maybe you want to protect the halfling that's unconscious.
You're conscious.
All right,
Just
Lorik.
paralyzed.
Oh.
You're unwinding. You getting one of the
2 of them.
2 of the orbs out.
Yep.
Okay. You're gonna spend most of your turn doing that, like, because they were wound back up in the netting, so
Okay.
you got to like get it down and take the 2 out. Make sure the other 2 are probably secure. But also, you run back on deck at the end, like after you grab them. If that was your plan.
Yep.
All right. So he comes running back out and then shines the light, and they shy even further away now. They're really not liking being here. Dava, you just kind of lay there, helpless.
Can't move.
This thing over you that you're staring up at as it was getting ready to chew your throat out is now recoiling and hissing in frustration and fear. And then it dives overboard. And then this one goes to run and do the same thing. You guys will both get a swing at it as it does so if you'd like.
Yeah.
Me as well. 23.
That'll hit.
9.
That will not.
Oh.
8.
8. So yeah, you hit it as it's fleeing, but it's moving away from you, and it takes a lot of the energy out of your blow. And then it dives into the water and disappears under the waves.
This is like a SWAT. Eat, good.
And all is peaceful, other than the fact that you're still in the middle of a storm and it's trying to capsize your boat. And now that you've all left the riggings alone for a brief moment, the wind is trying to tear them in a different direction. And what do you do?
I'm going to go for the sails
Okay.
quickly as
I'm going to
possible.
lay there paralyzed.
Yes, you are.
I'll grab her and take her below deck.
Okay, so you're gonna grab. You got to untie her rope then, and you're roped on as well.
Yep.
Okay. You are not roped onto anything at the moment. What are you going to do? You're still holding 2 globes.
We probably shouldn't have put these away. Not sure where we're going to put them, though.
We gotta figure out something so they don't smash against the masts. But right now we got to get these sails under control.
That's exactly. I point at you and I'm like, get the mast under control, and I'm like trying to steer into the waves.
I'm doing everything I can to get those ropes under control and get that mast from spinning around. And
Okay. So as you're grabbing sails, you're doing what you can do to get them under control. You're trying to steer this thing in the middle of all this. You get the halfling, and you get both of you below decks. What are you doing, Lorik?
Standing with these orbs looking for a place to tie them off.
Okay.
Tie them to.
I mean, you could tie them to the underside of the sails or whatever too.
Yeah, let's do that. I
There's
don't want to
areas,
put them
there
on
areas
the
where they're
side
not going to
'cause I don't
smack
wanna
against
break.
anything. Right.
Okay.
As best you can. And as you're doing that, through the rage of the wind and the rain coming down on you now, I mean, you guys are drenched, as the true storm comes rolling in here, and there's a couple inches of water in the bottom of the ship when you go down below decks. This is not a well-built ship to begin with, and you've been taking on some pretty good water. However, Lorik, you hear over the wind, like a humming, like somebody humming, like an elven melody.
Can I understand it?
It's
Or
it's just a hum.
music?
It's just
Just
music.
music?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just music, and you can barely hear it, but you do it. It sparks recognition in you of like a younger day for you. And as you hear that, off in the distance, you see like a globe of light, similar to the globes you just tied off, but off in the distance and moving away from you.
Wilbur, can you see that?
What?
And I point to the light.
Yeah, when he points, you do notice, just barely at the edge of your vision, you notice this globe of light.
I guess.
Elven melody. Tempted to follow. Not really sure, though.
Is it heading in a direction that will also keep the waves in front of us?
Yeah, it's not heading directly the way you were going, but it's not heading away from it completely either. So it seems like it is taking you to a weaker part of the storm potentially.
Okay. Then I guess we'll follow it out. If maybe
Okay.
it knows where it is in the storm, so
Okay.
To
not
get louder.
actually being a professional
Just
ship
doing the best
pilot.
you can. So, about 30 seconds after you're taken below deck, you start to get feeling back. You get that nice pins and needles, and then everything starts coming back, and you're able to move again.
I like being able to move. It means I'm not going to drown down here.
I wasn't going to put you in the water. But you're good. Here you go.
I still feel terrible. I go back up,
Okay. And the ship is rocking too.
and
really.
I tie myself back to where I was, and I just kind of stand under the lights.
Okay.
I'll go back up and tie myself off and help out.
Loric, do you ever tie yourself back on, Loric?
Yeah, right
Okay.
after I did the orbs, that's why
Okay.
I was tying them up so I
Okay.
had hands.
Perfect. Okay. So, following the light seems to take you out of the storm. Right as the sun is going, so you're following this globe of light, and then it just dissipates. It just disappears as the sun is coming up. Which your lights also go out right as the sun is coming up. But you don't see a ship in front of you. You don't see anything as like the storm starts to break, and you can see as daylight comes down, and the waters are calming, and you see the gorgeous blue waters in almost all directions, because ahead of you is an island. At this point, by morning, even with efforts to prevent it, the ship's taken on about 1.5 feet of water, and definitely needs to be just drained out and also some repairs done. And you see what appears to be a small tropical island in front of you. You guess it's about 2 miles wide, what you can see. And you guys are coming into like a harbor, like a natural harbor here. There's no other boats, there's no docks or anything like that. But you do see lush vegetation growing up the sides of a peak of a volcano that is at the center of this island. And there's no smoke or anything billowing from it. It looks, from here, it looks dormant, at least. And
Looks absolutely harmless.
but as you do get close, you do catch the scent of like fragrant flowers, and where there's usually blooming flowers, there's also usually fruit to be found. And yeah, and there's also trees, which means potential lumber to affect repairs on your ship.
Is this on our map?
Steer wing. No, I'm just kidding.
Good question.
That is a good question. While we're looking at that, I'm going to pull into this natural harbor.
Amboth, is that on our map? Do you have Volcanic Island?
Nothing says volcanic island with tropical flowers and smells good or anything like that on there. There's a bunch of like kind of squiggly circles that are poorly drawn. So I don't know. Loper, you seem to be the one that can navigate by the stars and by the maps and whatnot. What do you think? Like, is this on one of these islands? Are you gonna
I'll take a look at it once we've docked. Someone should check on our supplies and make sure they didn't get ruined.
Speaking of that, some of your maps have been damaged by the storm as well.
Sure.
It kind of came on kind of quick. Wasn't
Okay.
top priority to put the maps away.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
What do we have
They
left?
look even more like kindergarten drawings at this point.
All right, I'm gonna kind of tuck mine away, the one that I have at least, and try to preserve what's left of it.
Okay.
So, kind of squingy it out. What's it? Yeah.
Hang it to dry.
So, yeah, there you go.
It'll get a little crunchy that way.
All right. So, as you're sailing into the harbor, bringing the sails down and everything, and slowing, and then you can drop anchor when you're ready to really set up here. Yeah, like it's just like I said, the wind's settled, and the storm has passed. Everything just feels really nice again. Like it's kind of back to like this isn't too bad of a thing, other than the fact that we have to get rid of a bunch of water out of the bottom, and there's no goblins to do it for us. So, but as you're out there and you're coming to a stop, let's say the more perceptive of you, who would that be? Who's the highest perceptions in the group? Dava, what's your perception?
Oh, +3.
3.
Okay.
1.
All right. So you guys are all actually fairly perceptive. The three of you kind of notice first, and then the two of you catching that they're all staring in one direction for a moment. Oh. Like, look over, and you see, just at the tree line past the beach, a group of 4 human children at the tree line, wearing very simple-looking clothes, kind of like staring out at you. They're far enough away that even yelling, they might hear you.
I don't think this is good. What if they're not friendly? They're gonna tell on us. It's what children do.
I say we greet them with open arms.
I say you
they
stay
could be
on
our
the
salvation.
boat. You could be scary.
That hurts a little, but
Did
I'm
you-
okay with that.
You're
I'll
like
move
the
on.
big version of the Dragon Masters.
They're not goblins.
No, but what if they've been enslaved or tormented by them before?
Those guys were green, though.
I mean, maybe they'll worship you, maybe they'll be terrified. We could flip a coin.
Let's make
I think
friends.
you guys have been spending too much time listening to stories.
One of them waves back.
They're probably just normal human children.
They wave back.
They're not cannibals. I know, but I'm lecturing these
Yeah,
guys.
you're mowing.
This is gonna be rolling my eyes.
What do we need to do to set the boat? We got to fix the boat anyway. I mean, regardless. What do our supplies look like?
I
So
need to
I'll do a round on
pull
the
it in.
supplies.
You guys had
and-
enough fresh fruit and everything to last about 3 days that they had accumulated, because turns out you guys eat more than goblins do, being quite a bit bigger in body mass, except for you. Halflings just make up for that with a high metabolism, though.
We have a lot of energy.
Like hummingbirds.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, one of the children waves back, and they kind of stay there watching you guys for a moment, and then they disappear into the jungle.
So we need to pull in, which is what I'm doing. I need someone to pull up the mast, and then we're going to drop anchor.
I'll pull up the masts.
Got it. I go to drop the anchor when you say.
Okay.
I'm resting a little bit because I'm still a little tingly.
All right.
Prep boats.
Okay, getting the boats prepped.
Excellent.
I'm fairly certain no one here is proficient in water vehicles.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't think that's a thing.
No, it is. It's a
Okay.
tool proficiency in this, so it's not a skill.
Oh, gotcha.
You can have a tool. Because I think somebody in this group is proficient in land vehicles.
I am, yes.
You're proficient in land vehicles, but not water vehicles. If this was a cart, you'd be all over it. Right. Since you're acting captain, I'm going to go ahead and have you make a skill check.
Okay.
You don't get your proficiency bonus, but I would allow wisdom on this as your
Sure.
stat, and the DC is 10.
Okay. 22.
22. Like a pro. You guys think he's been sailing ships his entire life.
Maybe I have that.
Maybe.
We don't really know. He doesn't even know.
Pirate King Loper. I like that. But yeah, you guys, you stopped the ship right where you intended. Everything goes really smoothly. I completely forgot to grab the chips before the game began. So after we take intermission, I'll make sure I grab those. But when you guys leveled up, everyone got their inspiration point back too. So everyone does have an inspiration point. Let me just throw that out there so we can all immediately forget about it.
Cough,
Right.
cough, hint.
And you're saying this now so the human children
Because
will
I
turn out
just
to be
remembered
cannibals.
I didn't have the chips. That's why. That was what prompted that. Nothing nefarious.
Sure. Once we are docked, I want to go below deck and make sure there's not any leaks, that it was just water that came on,
There are leaks above your normal
Above?
water line.
but not on the...
But, right, so it's not going to continue taking on water, but if you get rocked around again, it's going to start doing it again.
Okay.
So if you encounter any rough waters, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. got it.
But if you have the time to get proper supplies here, then maybe that won't be an issue. Yeah, so by the time you get that done and you got the boat ready, who's all going ashore? I mean, remember, 3 of you can fit in a boat.
We took both, though, right?
Yes. Yep.
I was planning on going ashore.
Everyone
I'll go
going to go ashore?
No, because I think someone might steal our boat. What if these people are trapped on this island? Not to be the bearer of bad news, and I'm all about letting people be free. But at the same time, I am not willing to risk my own freedom.
Well, I just kind of wave at the shore. There are no boats ashore. I mean,
There
I think
will
that's
be once you
precisely
get
her point.
there.
Is there are no boats, and if they're stuck here, our boat is a boat, and
Who would like
it
to
could
stay
be
on the
somebody
ship with
else's
me?
boat.
go ahead. I'm going ashore.
As will I.
I stare very hardcore at you.
I'll protect the little one.
Thank you.
I'll go ashore.
All right.
Kids like the dwarf, so.
So the landing party is
He's
the
already
elf, the
got a
dwarf, and the
rapport.
human.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, I think it's smart to send the human. They're human.
Unless they're halfling.
Well,
Unless this is all a
I
mirage in my head.
ooze charisma, but I'm also a little hurt.
Hallucination.
All right, so it takes just a few minutes to get the boat down to the water and then start rowing to shore. Very similar to the island you left, just, white sandy beach. I mean, that island didn't have a volcano, so this does stand out in that regard. But similar vegetation, similar types of plants and trees growing here. It seems a paradise, honestly.
Minus the volcano.
It's not billowing fire at the moment, so
Yet.
at the moment. And a few moments later, like a group of 3 now adult humans come to the tree line, and they seem kind of shocked to see what they see. They are carrying like crude spears, and they're dressed in like well made but very simple animal hides. And they kind of just stand watching you guys, drag your boat up on the shore.
I get excited because that means there's meat here. And I wave.
Once the boat's ashore, I'll go first, being the least strange of the group,
Okay.
and say, "Ho, locals! How fare ye?"
Okay.
It's kind of speaking old in case I don't know a dialect.
Sure. So they do one kind of like hesitantly waves back at you, and you waved, and they kind of like look at each other, and then you come up and you say that, and one like a little bit older male steps out of the tree line. You put his age somewhere around like mid-40s, and he's like just looking, and he's like, we are well. Where do you hail from?
We are sailing to, what's the name of the city?
Jarholm.
Jarholm. And got caught in a storm.
Who do you serve?
But people
goodness
like Jarholm.
and light.
That's a Dragon Master's ship.
Yes, we took it from some.
They kind of like step. They're keeping about 30, 40
Sure.
feet from you still. You know,
Yeah.
they're okay, kind of yelling a little bit. They start talking and like one's pointing at the ship. You know, like, and it seems like they're arguing a little bit. But the older one turns back to you. He's like, "Well, please be our guest then, and come with us if you don't mind. I'd like you to speak to our village elder." And as he says that, he turns and looks right at you for just a moment.
Of course, we'd be happy to meet him. Not catching on.
Honored. Yes.
And yeah, they you know, once you're past this, if you are you entering the tree line? Are you going with them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull the boats up on
Are you
shore.
speaking for himself? Are you going with them? Are you hanging back, or what are you doing? You
I'll
look
go
very
with them.
suspicious. Okay.
Yeah, well, of course I'm suspicious, but yeah, I'll go with them.
The three of us went, so we only took one boat, right?
Yes.
So they have a boat.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, we can. I say we all go.
Okay. So once you're past the tree line, you find a path that looks like it's cleared. Like they keep a pathway, but they stop it shy of the tree line, so that you know anybody landing on the beach wouldn't just see a clear path in here. And as they take you, and you guys walk for about half a mile, just nearing the volcano, and you come to kind of a clearing at the base of the volcano, where there's just a bunch of huts that have been built. Once again, fairly well constructed, but fairly primitive still. And you see around the perimeter of the huts, there are 6 wooden posts set in the ground. And off each of the wooden posts is a hook with one of those globes hanging from it. And they're in full view of the sunlight right now. And it kind of creates a perimeter around the little village with the volcano at its back.
You have those globes too?
Dragon globes, yes.
What are they used for?
Keeps the undead at bay.
Yeah, we ran into some of those on our ship last night, getting here in the storm. But we have 4 of those globes, we just didn't have them out.
Oh, you have more globes? Perhaps you'd be willing to trade one or more.
Perhaps we do need food and wood for our ship.
We could certainly work an arrangement out. Be beneficial to all. As you go into, like, you see, like, this, there's probably like 20 or 30 families living here. And it's predominantly human, but you do see some half-elves mixed in.
How long have you been on the island?
My whole life.
What are people doing as we walk through their village?
Basic life functions. So you just see people going about like people bringing back like baskets of fruit, or you hear what sounds like boars or pigs off in the distance a little ways. And that's, as you see the hides, that's kind of what the hides look like boar hides. So it's like they are farming pigs. They are, you know, bringing in fruits. It looks like there's small gardens growing. It looks like they're going into the jungle to retrieve more food as well. Because the perimeter seems pretty set by the globes they have. And you are taken in, like, you're led to a hut that's kind of central in the town. It doesn't look any more grandiose or better than any of the others, other than the fact that the supports for it are not made of wood. They are carved of stone. In fact, it looks to be by dwarven hands.
All right.
And the leader goes into the hut, says, please wait here. And he goes into the hut and comes out just a moment or two later. And he's like, is there more of your crew?
There are more on our ship. Yes.
Our leader would like to meet everyone. He says he's been waiting for this moment for many, many years.
We may be able to get them later.
He would like to speak with all of you at once, if that is okay. He is quite infirm and unable to leave his home. You feel he's being fairly truthful with you. You don't sense
I don't get
real
any
dissent.
bad intent.
No, not at all.
Okay.
You can send the Raven back to tell him.
Okay.
The Raven can give messages.
As long as I go blind and dormant.
Back, bird!
Excuse me, deaf and blind.
Do you have a quiet place for him to sit?
Yes. Yeah. And the kind of.
I'm gonna put my hand on Loper's shoulder.
Okay.
He's not over there, but yeah.
All right. So Lorik's new Raven comes flying back to the boat, and lands near you. And what exactly does it do?
It just whispers that you should join us in the center of the island.
Does it cacaw?
I don't speak bird.
It doesn't speak bird, it speaks with my voice.
That was the weirdest thing.
It sounds.
Did you hear?
It sounds like Lorik, but it's a bird.
It's his bird, though.
It is his bird, but what if it's a trap?
Good point.
I don't want to lose my freedom.
I think we should go. Maybe they need help. Maybe they need help.
Or maybe
And this
it's a
bird is
trap.
bringing. It's okay. We can fight through a trap.
And it flies back to me.
Okay.
See, we went back to help. We should help. If the bird has more courage than us, what are we?
Fine,
Yes.
but
I'll-
you're rowing.
Chalk that up as a win.
Hey now,
And let's
no
go.
keeping score.
I'll row.
Yeah,
All right.
you better row. I can't reach.
All right. We're going to row back in there and try to find our way, I suppose.
They
Is
went
there
this
somebody
way.
So
out
you
there
can see the
that's-
footprints in the sand
Okay.
lead up to into where they
I'm
entered
close
the
to the
jungle.
ground, so I just point. They went this way.
And once you kind of clear that first few feet of dense underbrush, yeah, you see a clear path ahead
Okay.
of you.
All right, let's follow this. I'm going to be ready just in case.
Okay.
I don't know what to expect. I have my maul out and ready to go.
Got your bow out.
Freaking snakes.
Okay, so as you guys are like walking through with your maul raised and you have your bow out, like you see like a couple of like a human woman and a half elven woman like picking fruit off the trail a little ways, and they like see you with your weapons and they just freeze.
I put my bow down. I wave.
One kind of like waves back, and then they kind
And
of
then
like
I
grab
nudge
their
him.
baskets of fruit and they like start scurrying back to the village ahead of you.
These
Or at least
people
they
may
do,
not
actually.
be a threat.
As long as I sense no evil, then I'm not going to be
You
too
stop and
concerned.
concentrate for a moment, and you don't feel
Yeah.
any of
Okay.
that.
I'm just going to hang it at my side, like not in like the ready stance that I was before. Just a much more relaxed stance.
Okay,
So, and I'm just going to forge ahead.
excellent. So yeah, you guys come up to this village, as I just described to the rest, and you see your three compatriots kind of standing off to the side a little ways. The Raven back over Lorik's shoulder.
You got the message.
Yeah, that's creepy.
We got a message.
It's useful
We-
though.
So they still
We
have their
thought you
weapons out.
guys may have been caught in a trap.
Like held at bay, but
No,
yeah.
there's a leader on the island who wants to talk to everybody. I'm
You
wary,
couldn't have said
but the
that?
dwarf's excited.
Put
Well,
your
yeah.
weapons away.
I did.
Yes. Sorry, we were not sure what to expect.
My eyes turned red, and I was like, "Do not embarrass me with these new people." And then I turn away from you.
I look at the walls and I was like, of course he's excited. He likes
He's got
rocks.
a pride streak.
He
I
must
do
have
like
gotten some
rocks.
salt
These
in
are
his
very nice rocks.
eyes.
These are familiar rocks.
So-
Very familiar. I like this.
Well, by the way, I won that one. She didn't want to come. I
Well, now you know.
had to convince her.
Merlin's giving you a message. You gotta listen.
Thank you.
But your name's Lorik.
The bird's Merlin. Pat its little beak.
Well, you never told me that.
Nah, I probably should have had that conversation. It's the first time I had him out last night, so.
Solid Raven name.
So the one human male who is leading the group that led you here comes back over. So we will be taking a mid-morning meal if you'd like to join us. We have plenty of food.
Yes.
I love food.
We would be most thankful.
And you can see like the village is like setting up like a feast table in the middle of this, and like everyone kind of like comes together. With the children here, there's probably around 100 people. From like women carrying babies to elderly people here as well. The half elves all seem fairly fit and in their prime though.
So if we're not summoned immediately, I'm going to go about and attempt to help the people just prepare things.
Okay.
If there's any like heavy labor that needs to be done, I'll
Well,
help
they're
them
just
with
bringing
that.
platters of food to the table right now,
Okay.
and like moving the table, so you can kind of like.
I'll assist the best that I can.
Okay. And like it's basically like roast ham steaks and fresh fruit.
I could live like that.
Guys, I think we could stay on this island for some time.
I'd like to go home.
Unless there's mead or ale, then
Ham and fruit, though.
Where there's fruit, there can be liquor. You just gotta try hard enough.
it's mid-morning.
But yeah, like the villagers come around and like you start getting names of different villagers and stuff. They start introducing themselves and asking where you come from. Like news of the outside world seems to be what they're really interested in.
I swipe a
So-
piece of fruit and I eat it because I'm starving.
One thing I am gonna ask them if their island has changed size in the distant or in the near past. Like, has
They
it
don't- they
gotten
don't-
smaller?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of dodge questions since we don't really know much about ourselves.
Okay.
Who has the map?
I've got one.
So I'm gonna take the map from you and like see if they can help us figure out where we are. The storm put us off course.
First thing you pick up on is that none of them know how to read Draconic. I mean,
Well,
'cause-
it's a map though.
right, but there's writing in Draconic on it.
Sure.
And they don't seem to recognize that as anything other than part of the illustration.
Okay.
But yeah, they look like people who have never seen a map before.
Oh.
So they're like
All right.
looking at it and trying to understand what you're showing them, basically.
This is the ocean. No, just kidding.
No, this is a piece
Don't
of
be
paper.
condescending.
Is there a medicine man or user of the arcane arts on
no.
the island?
You don't. Oh, you're just asking that.
Yeah.
We're
We're with the.
They talk about a couple of people who are skilled in herbs, but you get a feeling there's no real magicians here now.
I look at them and I was like, do you think they could make me feel better? And I show them where I got slashed. Because I still have a slash mark.
She was clawed pretty good.
Yeah.
They could bandage it for you, but that's about the extent. Clean the wound and bandage.
I just grab you on your slash and heal the wound. It's like you should have come to me before.
Roll
I
it.
was paralyzed.
How much do you heal?
8.
That would be all of it, I believe. So what does it look like when you heal like that?
It glows brightly, and then when I remove my hand, the wound is gone.
Okay. There's like awe through the crowd. Like there's gasp, they're backing away. Like they've never seen anything like that.
Thanks.
You should keep doing stuff like that.
Fear not.
Ooh.
I mean you no harm.
And then I go like this. Check it out.
Yeah,
It's
like,
better.
like the metas, like the herbalist woman, like rushes over and is like looking at your arm, and because she was like just talking about
I
bandaging
like
it.
show her by poking it.
And yeah, and she's this is amazing. How did you do that?
By the power blessed to me by the sun and the stars.
I don't understand.
I can't explain it much better than that. But I've always had these abilities. Do you have injured in your village that could use my aid?
Not now, but that is a remarkable ability.
I like it.
You notice that the guy who's been like the spokesperson so far for you is gone right now. Like when that happened, he like took off.
I follow him.
He goes to the elder tent. And he comes right back out like a couple moments later, helping an old blind dwarf.
Male or female?
Is there a difference?
Just kidding.
So
One has a longer beard.
so you guys, like, it's just a little ways off. And once again, village not very big. Everyone feasting. You kind of look over. You see Lorik had run off for a moment. He's standing there as the gentleman who had escorted you to the village is helping very slowly. This very just ancient looking dwarf has a very similar skin hue to Jamoin, but like way more wrinkled. And his eyes are just pure white, as is his beard and what's left of the hair on his head. And he has a cane in one hand that he's like hobbling along with, and then his arm kind of up over this village leader, who's getting him there as well. And the village hushes when he comes out. Like they all get quiet, kind of with anticipation.
I look at Tremoyne and I ask him, do all dwarves look like you or just him?
Just
So I'll
one of
walk
your
partway
clansmen.
towards him.
One of
so
your
the
members.
gap isn't not like get in his face, but
Sure.
just like to make it a smaller path,
Okay.
and then patiently wait for him to speak first.
Okay. What the rest of you? You guys hanging back, or you?
Leaning on my staff.
I go up with him.
Just
and-
Okay.
I was poking the dwarf, so I just follow the dwarf because I think it's funny.
I'm gonna just kind of watch to see what the villagers are doing,
Okay.
and kind of imitate what if they're kind of like kneeling down or like showing extra reverence. I'm gonna do the same thing.
Okay. It's obvious that they're not showing like any kind of like reverence like that, but there's a lot of respect.
Okay.
And so they kind of come a little closer to, and they see him go up, like they're straining to hear what the exchange is going to be.
Okay.
And so in common, he's like, is it true that there's outsiders on our island?
Who's he talking to?
Just talking in front of all of you.
He can't see.
I think
I
you can
was-
tell that.
Duh.
Indeed, we've arrived today. I am Loper. These are my companions.
I'm Java. And I kind of pop up.
My eyes get a little dark for a minute, but
My name is Dermoen. Do you hail from a certain clan?
I did once.
What clan, you might ask?
The name was stripped from me when I took to the life of sailing.
I see.
Many don't like those who shun the old ways. Although those ways, I fear, are probably dead now.
How so?
Where do you hail from? I was told you came on a Dragon Master's boat.
We originally hail from Jarholm.
Jarholm still stands?
We hope.
why would it not?
He kind of like just pauses. Who are you? You claim to hail from Jarholm.
we're friends of Curseborn. We went to talk to the dragon.
And
Things went poorly.
he drops his cane, like just lets it fall, and he's like, come close. Let me see you.
Like any person
Yeah.
in particular?
Like
or-
yeah, just puts his hands up like to feel your face basically. And yeah, he's like you are truly another dwarf.
Ah,
I have not spoken. Do you bear a maker's mark?
I do. I'll pull it out.
Like yeah, he takes the chisel and and he's definitely feeling, and he's just like you've restored something to him, just like.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder.
And he goes and hands it back to you. My father was a smith. Wanted me to follow in his footsteps, but I took this road instead, and it brought me here. Please, and he turns next, like the next voice he had heard last. Like, can I see you?
I will
It's okay.
get on a knee. Let
Okay.
him do his thing.
It's like next phase, like
I'm small. I say it out loud. And then I look, then I'm like, even to you, I'm small.
do you mind?
I let him touch my face.
Okay. And I heard another voice there. Melodic. Friends I used to have. Would you
Who
be
would
so
that
kind?
be?
I remember one's name translated as Starlight, but I cannot remember the words in their language.
Okay.
You let him touch your
I
face?
submit.
Okay. And I heard of one other with you.
Yes, Master Dwarf, tell us what you see. And I'll approach him and
Yeah, he touches your face and he's like startles back for a moment.
I get that reaction a lot.
Thought your kind were gone. Or turned.
Can you define turned?
What?
So, perhaps I should start by telling you of me. I was the first mate on a warship that had been beached here on the day the moon had shattered, some 200 years ago. The crew mostly human, with the exception of, I think it was 2 elves. We were all stranded here. This village you see is all of their descendants. We have been surviving here all this time, waiting for some sign that civilization had returned.
What happened to end the civilization?
The moon fell. The waves destroyed everything, I would imagine. I saw what it did to us here. It was a rough start here. Many had died in the shipwreck, and then we lost many more afterwards to disease and the elements, and even the occasional creature dragging itself from the ocean, because the gods had forsaken us, and magic was gone. Although I hear that one among you possesses that type of power.
Is he referring to the raven or?
No, you healed her.
I possess power gifted to me from some source.
Hmm.
But it is not arcane.
Well, the dead are a frequent bane. The dead of all those slain in the ending of the world come back and wash up on shores from time to time. However, the Dragon Masters have devised a way of keeping them at bay, and those are the Dragon Globes.
So the Dragon Masters are good?
I wouldn't say that, but they fear the undead as much as we do, despite their master.
So how did you obtain your globes?
Some Dragon Masters came here some time back, presumably to gain supplies, and we took them, sank their ship.
And nobody sailed off the island in 200 years?
No, we've waited here.
What are you waiting for?
You. He looks at all of you. You know, it starts with you, but he kind of like looks over all of you.
So you no word from the outside world from here then?
Just the Dragon Masters. When they came aboard and they saw our village, they meant to take us as slaves. We couldn't let them leave.
I agree.
Ships had stopped here before, but never gone into the jungle. This was about 100 years ago.
And nothing since.
Oh, their ships sail by occasionally, but they have little reason to stop here. The ones that were here claim that they are the true heirs of Firewrath's glory and the chosen warriors of the chromatic dragons, whatever that means.
Chromatic dragon?
That's what they claim.
What's that? Yeah.
They had a bit of a religious bent to them, and their fervor for Fire's Wrath and the dragons they supposedly serve. Some called themselves the true children of dragons.
What can we do to help you?
Help me?
Your village. I mean, first, I apologize that we failed and we've been stuck here for 200 years.
You claim to know the Curseborn.
We fought Fire's Wrath.
Maybe it is all true then. You'll have to meet her tonight, though, to find out.
What's all true?
He kind of just starts chuckling and coughing, and he kind of like
Who's her?
he starts to slump, like, you know, he's really old and has exerted himself more than he probably has in decades, and says she'll want to see you tonight. Just listen for her song.
I think we heard it last
And then
night.
the human like grabs him because he starts to collapse.
Right, and I'll help.
Okay, and the human looks at you. We have to get him back to his bed. And he's like coughing and hacking.
I help.
Yeah, you go inside the hut. Like I said, it's like it looks like the other villagers' huts, except that rather than like wooden supports, it has stonework supports, so it looks a little bit sturdier. And yeah, it's very simple inside. There's a bed there, and kind of like gets him situated. And he's pretty much passed out by the time you get him back into the bed. The human's like, "Thank you." He's not been up for several days now, and we fear his last day is coming sooner rather than later.
Do you have any gems around?
Gems?
Yeah, I pull out, like, I have a topaz, I think it is. No, pull it out. Like, something like this.
No.
I'll, like, tuck it into his hand. Like, I'm sure that means that he hasn't felt that in many, many years. he should have it.
Thank you. We should let him get his rest, though.
Yes.
So the crowd's kind of like dispersed into small knots of people talking kind of excitedly. Like this is something that doesn't happen very often, just to see the elder come out.
I'm gonna ask Drimoyne. Is this dwarf just venerable, ancient, or does he have some sickness that plagues him?
He is very old, yes. We live a long time, but not like
Not forever.
water. Not like dragons, for sure.
Oh, that does me a lot of good. I don't remember. 4 days ago.
So yeah, you come back to it's a lot of excitement going on. How are you guys like? Are you guys interacting with the villagers? Are you just kind of clustered together as a group right now?
I'm just kind of where the food is. As you mentioned before, I have a really high metabolism, so
Okay.
I have priorities.
Visit with the herbalists. Ask them questions about their art and their craft.
It's very mundane. It is,
Well, of course,
but yeah,
I'm
but
always
they're-
looking for
once
more
again,
information.
They are very knowledgeable, though. Like they've extracted medicines from plants you've never heard of.
Okay.
So, and they're more than happy to show you.
I listen as long as we are waiting.
Okay.
I try to find like an area that's clear away from people,
Okay.
and I brood over there for a little bit.
Okay.
I poke at the food.
Okay. So and what are you doing?
I'm going to be actually talking to the half-elves, as they've lived much longer than what the humans have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask them if they remember that 100 years ago when those dragon masters came before.
Yeah, a few of them do.
Okay. I'm going to
A few of them were alive then. So yeah.
Okay. I'm going to just try to poke at some information for them, just try to get to know them very well, be as amicable as possible.
Okay.
And just try to glean more information from them
Sure.
about that incident.
Yeah, and then they tell you, it was a ship very similar to the ship that you guys took, and it was goblins mostly, then a few of these dragon masters that they had never seen before. They had heard tales of goblins, but they had never seen them. And for even the oldest of the half elves is, child of one of the elven survivors, and so they weren't alive when the ship crashed originally even. And so everybody here, other than the dwarf, have never known anything but this island. And but they talk about they came on board and they came in and they demanded that we had to give something called a tithe of slaves to feed the empire. And someone called Fire's Wrath.
Okay.
And so we ambushed them and killed them.
Good
And
idea.
then stripped many parts of their ship and sank it.
How far out did you sink the ship?
On the harbor reader key. That was 100 years ago, though, so I doubt anything remains of it.
Okay. I'm going to just continue assisting them with everything I can.
Okay. So the human leader comes back over and sits next to you as you're eating. He's like, thank you again. Garnab, and he points back at the hut. Garnab went once to visit the Lady of the Song, and he points up to the volcano. Some days when he's into his fermented juices, he'll talk about it, but not very often. When he was younger, he would talk about it more, I understand. But he did say that she only spoke one thing to him, and she told him that he wasn't the dwarf that she was waiting for. That's why I think he is excited to see you here.
Well, hopefully we don't disappoint, I suppose.
And the day rolls on. You guys helping out, eating your fill. You have anything you want to kind of do?
Yeah, I probably brewed for quite a while. Been troubled by what I've heard.
Take some time to assimilate.
But I will walk around the village, and if there's things that need fixing, I'll fix them.
Okay. Using mending or physical
Right.
labor or both?
Either,
Okay.
probably a combination.
Yeah. Not a problem. How about yourself?
I'll eventually probably kind of come out of the broody part
Okay.
and see what we can do about the orbs
Okay.
and getting our supplies that we need.
Okay. Talk about trading one of the orbs or two.
One or two.
One or two
whichever.
of the orbs.
It seems like it might expand their area so
Right.
they can hold more families.
You're pretty
and stuff.
sure with 2 orbs on your ship, you could still cover most of the ship in light.
Kind of judging how they have them spaced. Like
Yeah.
they probably know fairly well
Right.
exactly the area. Okay. Okay.
After you eat your fill,
Just kind of talking. I'm trying to figure out who the girl of the song is and
okay.
asking questions about, well, to the half elves to see if they've ever seen her.
Nope. So Garnab, who is the dwarven elder, gave strict instructions that no one is to go to the volcano, and that is where the song comes from. And he is referred to as Lady of the Song, because occasionally some nights you can hear it. A song with words that no one here really understands.
So we could go to the volcano to find her.
And the villagers kind of shrug when you say that. Like they're not allowed to go, but
You're an outsider.
you're an outsider. Now, the half elves do say that the song is Elven, but it's also like an ancient dialect that their parents didn't teach them.
I go back and I find wherever Lorik is, and I tell him that the song that they hear is Elven, and that I think we should go find the girl who sings it. And then I break
the
the
song
bad
only
news.
comes out at night too. It only happens at night, and not every night. It's very rare. Sometimes years will go by.
Well, we're not waiting that long. But she's waiting for a dwarf.
Yeah, we should probably go.
To the
I
volcano?
At night? In the
Gather everybody back in.
Yeah, it's about. I mean, at this point, after helping out, spending time, letting things sink in, it's probably a little bit after noon at this point. You have about 6 hours to nightfall.
how long do you think it would take us to get up there?
I'll make something up if you want me to go, but
Probably about half an hour.
only about a half an hour.
He's good.
Yeah.
How do you do
do it.
that?
Intelligence.
Can you teach me?
18.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know if it's that high.
I'm not sure.
No, not quite that high.
Let's go see if we can
About
find
a half
her.
hour. Did you guys find out anything interesting?
The food's really yummy.
Oh, that's good.
They sunk the ship, the previous Dragon Master ship, about where we have it anchored.
But how long ago was that?
100 years ago, he says there's nothing left of it, but I don't know. Maybe there's more of those orbs down there if
I don't think
Yeah.
they would have left any of the orbs on board.
I
They
imagine
seem-
that's probably where they got most of what they have.
Right.
How many orbs are on the island?
I believe
Just
I
a-
said like half a dozen of them.
Just like 6?
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even have that many, so. We might want to figure out more out before we give ours away too.
But if we can help these people, they're clearly in need. I think we can fend for ourselves better than what they can.
Yeah, but I don't want to be fighting undead every single night.
Yeah.
of the
No,
week.
that scratch hurt.
As long as we get to destroy more evil, I'm okay with it.
And 2 would help them a lot. And 2 would probably cover our boat.
I'm down with Drumoyne. I agree. I think we
They
should.
could give us lots of this very tasty ham.
It's delicious.
I
Trading
like
away our
food.
valuables for food makes me nervous.
I'm okay with it. I think we
These
should.
orbs aren't readily available, whereas we could probably go find some food.
Well,
Well,
I had
Just
a
as a
thought.
thought.
I had a thought too.
can't wait to
Surprisingly,
hear it.
surprisingly. Ready yourselves.
3 meals for the interval.
If they only have 6 orbs, right, and it can only cover so much space, and there's been 200 years of people having kids, what happens when they overpopulate, like, beyond the orb space? What happens to those people? Lorik?
Yeah, it's a concern. It's not my most pressing. I don't even know where we've come from. We're at this point, we have some semblance of what's going on now, but what do we do with that?
How does the lady in the volcano survive?
That's the other problem, and then this guy is going to be some kind of god for the Lady of the Volcano, so maybe we should pursue that and see where that leads us.
Well, that seems a little extreme.
I was being a little hyperbolic,
Very
but you know.
extreme.
I mean, she wants to meet you, so maybe if we just go to the volcano, she'll pop out to meet the dwarf. Unless you're not the dwarf she's waiting for, and then we're
Very
kind of
possible.
out of luck.
I did hear a song last night, so no words, but the melody from the orb that guided us to this island, if
I
you
mean,
will. I think
Maybe
Loper saw it. I don't know, did you hear the melody?
I'm off brooding.
Yeah,
We didn't go
he said
get
he
him?
gathered everyone together at one
Oh.
point.
He could
a-
say no,
after
he
you were
doesn't
done
want to come,
brooding,
I guess.
Oh, I haven't been done brooding, but
I think we
Keep
should.
on brooding.
I think we should assist these people. We need to establish some sort of foothold of light in this world of darkness. We need to show them that as long as they keep showing compassion and an understanding, then darkness will not overtake the entire world. These small bastions of hope are what this world needs to survive. If we can jump from small point of light to small point of light, eventually we can bring those lights together.
That's assuming the world is that bad out there.
I assume everything is bad.
I mean, they didn't make it sound like it's been a great time since we've apparently been unconscious.
That's, I mean,
Maybe we should go get Loper. He's been brooding a while and head up the mountain.
I don't know if he likes me. I'm annoying.
exercise will do him good.
Well,
If we run up the mountain, then I think he'll be okay.
We failed.
Oxygen.
We failed, and people suffered 200 years now.
What did we fail at?
Negotiations. Fire's rest.
I don't even know if this is our world. There are things we've never seen before and creatures that are foreign to us. Could 200 years really have evolved species that much? Or are we somewhere that we shouldn't be?
It's possible.
Maybe we're not home. Maybe home doesn't exist anymore.
Well, but they knew about fire's rest.
And they know about Jarholm,
Or not?
or
As it's gone.
if there's nothing left of it. Yeah.
Well, maybe this lady on top of the mountain will have answers.
Or more
Volcano.
questions.
To the volcano!
I'm not going to go with that attitude, but I'll follow.
So you guys gonna start ascending the volcano?
I go over to Loper.
Okay.
Is everything okay?
of course not. The moon fell from the sky, according to these people.
Yeah, I caught a vision of that about 4 days ago, but is it really our fault?
I don't know.
We did what we could. That we did do.
Well,
To be
from
fair, it
what
wasn't
these
the
guys have
whole
asked
moon, it was
is
like little piece.
all the answers they've gotten. What's the lady in the mist? The lady in the
Lady of the Song.
lady of the song? Maybe she has some answers. I'm a little frustrated at the moment because I don't have any, and I like to have them.
Dermoin, I say we ask permission from the Master Dwarf first, and I say you should ask that since you're kin.
We should not wake him up from his slumber. He needs rest.
I agree.
Didn't he insist that we go anyway this evening?
Is that the
said
wait for
this-
the song?
Oh, wait
Indeed.
for the song. Oof, okay.
It would not be polite to trespass on holy sites.
Agreed.
Should we go back to the ship and get some extra lamps then, so we have a light to carry with us if the song only happens at night? I
Very
would
good
like
point.
not to be
Not a
eaten.
bad idea. I like that idea.
We're not going to do anyone any good if we're dead.
I agree.
Who's going to come with me? Because I can't row.
We should also work on fixing the boat then, if we're going to be waiting to hear the song.
Maybe some of the villagers would help us if we asked them.
Well, I think Jermoyne has traded away 2 orbs already, so we might as well get our
You haven't traded them yet.
ham and verbal agreements are a trade in the elven tradition. I assume the dwarves are the same.
So if you wanted to trade off 2 of the orbs, they'll give you pretty much all the supplies you need to fix your boat and fully provision it.
Will they fix the boat for us?
They don't know how.
Will they?
Not even the half
They're
elves?
not. They're not
Let's go.
carpenters. No.
Okay.
Will they help
That's a
us if
bummer.
instructed?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, we're probably not going to do that in an afternoon, but we should get started.
Right.
Okay. Hey, if you guys trade the orbs, yeah, they'll send people out and they'll help you.
Get him a couple of pigs.
I love bacon.
I can barbecue those up for you.
I also like pork chops and ribs and everything.
I'm not a fan, so you can have my share.
Excellent.
So yeah, so you trade off your
Just
two.
take some grapes and lettuce.
You can have my lettuce and grapes.
There you go.
You trade off your two orbs, 2 of your 4, and in exchange, yes, they spend the day getting your boat really seaworthy again. Like you're pretty confident in it now, as compared to before, where you definitely were not, especially after last night.
We should see if they can get some cannons. And
They even
put them in the.
no, but they do have some fishing nets and stuff they give you as well, and they help repair some of your ropes and everything, and replace some of the more worn ones and everything as well. And yeah, you guys spend the day doing that for the most part. I'm going to ask as a group, do you want to take this moment and take a really quick break so people can get up and stretch and move around, or do we want to press forward? Going to take a break for a minute? Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to jump to a really quick intermission, give people time and stretch their legs. We went a little longer than normal for this right now, but we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back. We are back, and we are picking up as the sun is setting over the tropical paradise the group finds themselves in. And the village that you're in, as the sun is going down, is preparing a dinner feast. And it's very similar fare to what you had, a different selection of meat cuts, but general types of fruits and vegetables that they're growing here or finding on the island. And yeah, you guys, sit down and are treated to a feast again.
Excellent.
Awesome. I like food. I've had a hard day of work.
What a
And
piggy.
You ate for most of the day.
They have different
I worked on
spices
this
that you've
ship.
had before too. I mean, it's really
That's
good. Like
true.
all the food is really good. The people that you're talking to are very pleasant. They're just happy to be talking to somebody else for a change, than the small community they have here. The community seems very friendly and very tight, but they're very welcoming of outsiders that aren't dragon masters or goblins. They even like Almboth, and he's kind of like a really big dragon master.
I'm going to tell outlandish stories about dragons.
Okay.
Good ones. Good dragons, good stories.
Okay.
But just really play it up.
Okay, perfect.
Ham it up.
Halflings.
I'm gonna ask the villagers during this feast, like, who do they worship?
I don't seem to really understand your question.
Who do you pray to?
No one.
Do you have any spiritual leaders or guides?
No, not really.
I look kind of dissatisfied with that answer.
Okay. As you're finishing the meal and like the plates are being cleared and you kind of sit back content and full for a moment at least of enjoying a good meal together, a melody drifts down on the wind.
There it is. I can hear it.
And it's the same song that you were catching last night. But this time there are words to it. And they are of an ancient elven dialect, but you do understand them. And
Wait, I'm getting something.
So I speak Elven as well. Is it one that
you
I would-
recognize it as elven, but
that's-
yeah. It's kind of like somebody who speaks like really thick accent of a dialect in America, and then you go to somebody who speaks a really thick accent in Britain.
Oh, cool. I get it.
It's like you're both speaking the same language technically,
But no.
but there's some communication being
Cool.
lost. And however, like I said, you recognize the song. You recognize it as a lullaby that was sung to scared children during the last days of the War for Creation.
That's not. I don't think we want to go see this lady. This is a lullaby to scare children.
No, for scared children.
For scared children, not to scare. Perhaps we should go see this.
That sounds much better.
It was to calm scared children when it seemed at that point that the world was going to end.
All right,
So we're gonna go to the volcano now. Who has the lamp?
Well, we pulled them off the boat.
Yeah.
Well, we pulled two of them
Two
off
of
the
them.
boat.
And we traded the other two.
Right.
Okay,
So
I'll
we
carry
have
one.
two. Okay. I'll carry the other one. Well, you have access to
Very
both your
fumbly,
hands.
yeah.
Might be a little heavy for you.
It might be actually. I'll put it on this pole over my back.
So you guys begin your trek.
I stay extremely close to Lorik because he has a lamp, and I am mildly terrified of the dead.
Okay.
I don't want to become paralyzed again. It's like my worst fear.
Right. No, that makes sense. So, you know how when you're like at a distance and you're looking at a mountain and you're like, that looks pretty easy. Like we can climb that. Yeah. Nope. And then you start walking and the mountain gets closer, and then you start seeing where there's more sheer sides and places to climb, and your 30-minute estimate quickly becomes a 45-minute estimate, becomes an hour estimate, becomes maybe 2 hours. Maybe you get up this thing, a little rougher terrain than you were anticipating looking down from the base of it.
Seriously, I couldn't see the terrain from where I am. I could
Okay.
only measure the trajectory.
A half hour on my tail side.
There's no clear path. No one ever goes up here. There's not like a walkway to get through. You're just kind of at points climbing the side of a mountain. And I am going to, at one point, have everyone make me a roll on the roughest spot to cross. The attempt to get across. Basically just a bit of climbing and jumping and to traverse. And some of it's just a little dangerous. Not life-threateningly so, hopefully, but a little dangerous.
I like the hopefully. That's good.
Does anybody have any climbing kits or anything of that nature? I don't know if anybody does.
Got an explorer's pack.
I have a Dungeoneer's pack.
Same.
I should see what is in a Dungeoneer's pack.
Hey, you should let me know, because I have that same stuff.
Oh, excellent.
We're prepared for a dungeon.
Same that.
Maybe that'll
Explorer's
translate
pack.
into a mountain.
Those are the same.
I have 2 daggers and be like,
Dungeoneer's pack. Backpack, crowbar, hammer, piton, whatever. Torches, tinderbox, rations, water skin, rope.
Okay.
Explorer's pack. Rope.
Basically just rope. That's it.
Rope.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
climber's
well,
kit.
you're exploring.
Climber's
stuff.
kit, I believe,
You
is a
just-
separate piece of gear
It
you
totally
can
is.
purchase.
Yes.
So, you guys doing any precautions? You guys just free climbing?
I mean,
Yep.
how climbing are we talking about? Like vertically or
A
are
little
we
bit
walking?
sometimes, yes. Sometimes you're climbing up a cliff face.
Then
get
we
to the
should
next.
have who's ever our best climber go up and affix a rope.
Okay,
And we follow up.
there we go. I like
I'm-
that thinking.
Probably use the pit.
Probably the most dexterous.
So
I can just kind of.
climbing is actually more strength based. It's an athletics check.
Oh, never mind.
At +5.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Who would like to be the first one up?
Dwarvies first.
Oh, sure,
Doesn't
why
have the
not?
orb.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't have the orb, so he's got to go first.
21.
No problem. Not at all. He gets right up there, makes it look easy, has the rope. Who would like to go next? Now you have a rope to assist you.
I'll go next.
Okay, you have advantage on the roll because of the rope.
Athletics.
Yes.
That's what he said. 11.
Yeah. Definitely not as adeptly as he did it, but you do scale the rope and get to the ledge safely. Yeah.
I go up next.
All right.
Do I also get
And
advantage?
yes, anybody using the rope gets advantage.
18.
Yeah.
Well, 17.
Not a problem.
I then take my own rope and I make a pulley system to have them bring up the lanterns that way.
Okay.
Wow.
Get the lantern up there.
So then the
the
lantern comes
wizard.
up, and then they have one down there until the very end.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go last.
This way it gets up there safely and no one falls to break it.
13.
Yeah, not a problem. You get up there just fine. Now, here's the question everyone's been waiting for. Can you roll a double 1 on this?
0 ones. I already predicted it.
Bet I can.
I first pull the lantern
I
up.
failed at rolling double ones. 22.
All right. Yeah. He does like to show off his healing skills, so.
Yeah, he does.
Yep. You guys get up there, no problem. And then as you near the top of the volcano, you come across a cave that looks like it goes into the cone. And you can hear this is where the song is coming from.
You should go
And the
first.
sky tonight is
What are you
clear.
doing, Master
The sky is
Dwarf?
clear too. You can see the broken moon hanging in the sky. I mean, the moon is mostly intact. There's just like you can see visible cracks and like a piece of it missing.
It's comforting.
The moon's still there. It's just a little broken. And then the stars and everything too. It is a beautiful night, very clear. One thing you've noticed too here is you haven't really been plagued by insects. This is a weird little aside, but
We're at
Interesting.
the top of a volcano, and we have these glass orbs.
I will enter.
Undead and insect repellent.
normally the lights attract moths and insects.
Ah.
Yours, yeah. They're cool like that. So yeah, you guys go inside, and rather than like bare volcanic stone, you're greeted by like a verdant paradise inside. Like there's just all kinds of plants growing in here. But what strikes you immediately as odd, those of you who are familiar with things as this, is that they're not plants that are native to this island that you've seen. Like you're seeing pine trees and other, like other leafy trees that you would find in a more temperate climate as well, mixed in with the occasional jungle plant. Like it is all different kinds of flora growing here, and you have lots of night blooming flowers as well, and so it's very fragrant when you come inside. And there's a path when you go in, and you can see the ground is like volcanic stone, but these plants are growing out of it.
How did these get here?
Strange.
I want to touch the plants, make sure they're real. And I'm not.
They seem to be.
Okay. These are no illusions that I'm able to detect. Yet they probably shouldn't be growing here.
Strange magic of Val. No one's been here? The old dwarf said he'd come here once?
So it's only about a 60-foot, crater here, chamber. And as you come through, I mean, it's pretty thick vegetation, there's a little bit of path, but you can see that there is a woman standing in the middle. Her back is to you, but you can hear, the song coming from her. And there's like, right from the top of the volcano, there's just a pure moonlight bathing the entire inside of the place as well. And as she brings the song to an end, she turns around. And she is a very beautiful elven maiden. She stands just about 5 feet tall, very slight build, and has very long, like down to her knees, ivy green hair. And her hair comes across and covers part of her face, and the one eye you can see flashes very silvery gray. And her skin is so pale as to be translucent, and in fact, after looking at her for a moment, you realize she is. That you can see through her and see the forest on the other side. And so she stands there, with her kind of like the right side of her face, towards you, and her hair covering like the left side of her face. And she looks right at you, Lorik, and you get just a lightning bolt shock because you recognize your daughter.
I remember her?
Mm-hmm. In fact, I believe you have something written on your character sheet about her.
Yeah, it's who I'm always looking for.
Do I sense any evil?
You spend it, you're like... No, you do not.
Okay.
Not now.
She Maine?
Father,
What are you doing here?
I'm not here.
Why are you waiting for a dwarf?
Because I knew he was with you.
How did you know?
Because you left together.
He
Where-
can't get rid of me.
Where did we leave? To?
You left to stop Fire's wrath.
Which we didn't succeed at.
I know. Where have you been?
On an island. But I only remember 4 days ago. About 4 days ago. How long
What
has it
happened to
been
all of
since
you?
we've been gone?
Two centuries have passed. My time is very limited here. Fire's wrath has me prisoner. And my body is held in a stasis chamber, but my mind can escape at night.
Where?
I do not know exactly where. The shattered remains of Druxion. Have all of you forgotten? Oh. The dragons are scattered and lost people now. Many gave in to Firewrath's threats and joined forces with him, and in doing so, a new type of dragon has emerged, losing their metallic shine and gaining drab colors to show their allegiance to him. The Dragonborn were almost wiped out. Those who would not serve him in his new state, he killed. Some joined forces and, like the dragons, lost their shine. And then, with his numbers depleted, he decided to enact the ancient ritual of transformation again. This time, it was on the captive gnomes and halflings that he had, and thus he created the Dragon Masters, or as they're called in Draconic, the Kobolds. Everyone lives under his control now. The world bends the knee to him, sends horrible tributes of food and slaves, which sometimes serve as both, to either him directly or one of the many chromatic dragon overlords that serve under him. It's thanks to the magic you taught me that I'm even able to be here today.
I reach out to touch her.
Yeah, she reaches out to touch you, but your hands pass
Okay.
through. Where are you going now?
We don't know. We are headed towards Jarholm.
Jarholm.
But
No, that's
Dwarf-
good. It's haunted my dreams of late. I thought maybe it was just a sense of homesickness, but maybe it is something more.
is there a way to communicate with you at night?
If there
Or
is one,
only
I'll
in
try
this
to
volcano?
If there is one, I'll try to find it. I've been led here many times waiting. I didn't realize I'd wait this long, but I'm glad I never gave up.
Me too.
I pat you gently.
On the knee?
He comes. I must go. And then she disappears.
On the hand.
Does the plant life
Yes.
disappear?
The garden evaporates like it's a dream. Leaving the
I try to grasp at the flowers before they go.
leaving just a nice barren stone chamber with a bright gleam of magma at the edges of it. And it's at this point you can kind of feel the heat, that there is still something alive in this volcano. And then
It's a dragon.
no. But from the edges
I believe time to go.
Lamps.
of the sorry, it's neither insects nor undead. That was a very clever idea, bringing the lamps. I like that.
Well, now we just have to not break them and whatever this is going to be.
That is correct. Hey, look, we have a little volcano circle now.
Uh-oh.
Our entrance over here. We'll get this all set up. Talking to your daughter. Got your buddies hanging out with you. You were patting his arm, so we'll put you right next to him as well there. Good job. And
Trying to make it so he doesn't cry.
then from the vents of magma around the edges, some of the flames come to life. There we go. This little flickering thing, little creatures made of magma and fire.
Oh,
I look at the dragonborn.
that sounds snuggly.
They are very snuggly. In
Do
fact,
they look more demonic or more elemental?
they look more elemental. That's not the right page, is it?
I hope not.
That's a good one too. But there we go. All right, and they definitely don't seem happy to see you. I mean, they kind of seem happy to see you. It might be laughter as they're coming at you, but they're definitely coming at you with very aggressive intent. And we will, once again, venture into the breach here.
All fighter is happy.
Initiative?
I'm not
19.
fireproof.
19.
Oh darn.
19.
I have a
for
lot of
Drimoyne.
initiative.
13?
13. Okay.
Oh, I have 20, non-natural. I'm all about being on my guard after the swipe.
Loric?
20.
Oh, who has the higher dex bonus between the two of you?
I'm 3.
Same.
Who wants to go first? Okay.
I guess I do.
I guess you do. All
I'm
right,
tiny
and
Jumpable.
7.
yes,
Single digits.
You were not wanting
that is
to
a way
fight
to
your
show
fire.
how it works right there.
I like to wait to see what happens first.
Yeah, so do I. And then
All
I roll
right.
really good on initiative, and that's it.
Okay, that's a +1. Well, you guys react before they do.
Yeah, because
me?
I'm mad.
All right, Lork, what would you like to
I'm
do?
gonna color spray.
All right, so you can catch one of them because they're spread out.
120 feet?
It's a cone, right? Color spray is not 120 feet.
120-foot cone.
Oh, it's
That'd
a
be awesome.
15-foot cone. Well,
There
maybe
we
I
go.
don't color spray then. How about we magic missile the one closest to me?
One right in front.
Yep.
All right.
Five. 2. 4.
So 11.
Sorry. I'll do the math next time.
All right. So describe what happens.
So I put my hand. I'm really angry, and I let jets spark at just the one,
Okay.
right like into his face.
Yeah,
because
and
it can't miss.
And it blasts holes in the creature, and there's like fire and magma shooting out
not
behind it. It
great.
seems diminished by the attack, but it is not dead.
Well, I'm
You're
up next.
You are.
I'm
up
gonna
next.
try to shoot it with the short bow.
Okay, same one.
Yeah, same one. And I'm gonna be half tucked behind Loric's legs.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be poke out and shoot it because he's really mad, and I would like to not be eaten.
Okay.
So 17
That will definitely hit.
for 8.
All right. So you hit it with the arrow, and it once again it seems to diminish the creature a bit, but the arrow of course burns up afterwards. But it is still alive. And we're on to your turn. Well, that one's pretty diminished, but there's another one coming up this way too.
Right. Who's that next to me? Oh,
So
it's Amboth over here.
yep.
I think do I have enough space to get over to, across our line here?
You can get to here.
Okay, I think I will help come protect
Okay.
Mr.
So
Loper over here.
you're gonna come over here.
Yes.
All right.
I need protecting.
No. I'm not saying that at all.
Just trying to show how worthy he is.
I do.
I think
Amboss
that
is fireproof.
Amboth has got that side over there.
Hopefully.
Yes. And I will try and work some magic at the forge here. Within 18 total.
That will hit.
For 8.
All right. So
And I think I'll
you
action surge.
smash part of it, and yeah.
Wait, and I'll action surge.
Okay, go ahead and go again.
Yeah, so I'll smash part of it and come
a
back with a
backswing
backswing. And 20.
That'll
Total.
hit.
For 5.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it's smaller than when you started.
Right.
And definitely angrier.
Probably, yes.
Loper.
I am gonna take my frustration out on these guys. So I'm gonna step forward a little bit and then
Okay.
shoot at the one on the far left to me. The
This
one
one?
that has not been attacked.
This one?
Yes. And a bolt of pure light appears in my hand, and I'm gonna throw it like a javelin.
Okay.
It's a guiding bolt.
Awesome.
I'm gonna use my
Inspiration.
inspiration because it's a spell slot.
Sure.
So close.
So close.
That would be 24.
Oh, that will definitely hit. So you skewer this creature. Whew. That's a lot of dice.
For 46 radiant. And anyone that attacks it before my next turn has advantage because it's lit up.
Nice.
11.
11 damage. Okay. So you hit it once again. Fire and magma go shooting out behind it, and it seems a bit diminished and not looking so healthy. But it's still definitely standing there. But it is glowing with a guiding light, and it is Omboth's turn.
That guiding light is right where I like to go.
You gonna show everybody how worthy you are?
I'm gonna double maul handle this guy.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Alrighty. Here it goes. 10
Total?
has my higher one.
Is that total with all the math?
Yeah, plus 5.
So you miss.
Oh, 5 and 3. Can my sheer determination scare it? Like, I'm just kidding.
So you bring the hammer like right in front of it, and it cracks the earth, and it like looks down and it looks up at you.
I'm gonna smile.
It smiles. It smiles back, and then it breathes fire on you.
Oh,
That's rude.
I'm cool with that.
Make a Dex saving throw. DC 11.
Ooh, Dex I'm not so good at. But I make it with a 19.
All right, you will take half damage.
And another half because I'm fire resistant.
Oh yeah. So 9 cuts to 4, cuts to 2.
I'll just inhale the fire that he breathes in. I can do that too, buddy.
Great.
Natsu,
Nice.
Natsu style.
All right. So this guy is going to walk up here, and he's going to show you guys what a 15-foot cone looks like.
Sure.
And he's going to breathe fire on the 3 of you.
So it's a deck save.
Yep.
I pass.
Nice.
I have a 19.
16,
What's the DC?
11.
Oh, okay.
19.
You guys all made it? So you take half damage. So take 3 damage each. And then the last one, like, grabs your hammer.
Oh no.
And your hammer starts turning red hot. And he is putting heat metal on your hammer.
Awesome. Well, that's a problem.
Could have been worse. Could have been your armor.
Yes.
That would have been bad.
So, heat metal. I
sounds
just read this, but I want to make sure I do this right.
Contest the strength to grab that, I think.
Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when the spell is cast. You can succeed on a con saving throw or drop it on your when you take damage from it or on your turn. If you don't, then you continue to take the damage, and you have disadvantage on attack rolls with it.
All right.
That'll only do 12.
Only.
Good thing you're a tank.
And your hammer is suddenly very hot. Do you wish to drop it?
No.
Okay, and that is their turn. So we go back to Lorik.
Do I have to do my con save now to keep a hold of it, or
Yes.
is that on my turn?
Yep, and
Now?
it's DC 10. Yep.
Okay. 14.
Okay, you're good.
I guess we'll move up to the one that's not as badly damaged. Is that right?
This one's really hurt. This one-
Okay, so I'll move up to this other one. That
There's this guy.
yep, that guy.
Okay.
Oh no, I'll go up to the one in the middle.
Okay.
That's fine.
You gonna
I see
step
where
right
I
up
am
next to
now.
him?
Yeah, and I'll hypnotize him.
Hypnotize him. How's that work?
I think he takes is it wisdom? Sorry, I should have wrote this down. It is
All these new abilities with our new levels.
wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
13 is a DC.
All right. He fails.
So his speed drops to 0 and he's incapacitated and visibly dazed.
Okay. Which means advantage on attack rolls against him.
And don't you... Maybe that's paralyzed. Don't you crit if they're incapacitated and you hit them?
If you hit, yeah.
Okay.
And you have advantage on that.
Your turn.
I'm gonna poke it with my rapier since it seems
That one?
just to
Awesome. Okay.
since it seems to be just kind of confused.
Okay.
So 20, not natural.
Okay. But since it's incapacitated, it is crit. So you're going to do...
And you're sneak attacking.
Yep, so you're going to do...
D6.
Oh my goodness.
She does D8 with the rapier, so she's going to do 2D8 plus 2D6 plus her bonus.
So
Those
2
That
And
is a
it's-
lot of damage.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So there's 12 plus 7.
Plus your
Oh,
dexterity.
so plus 3?
Mhm.
Okay.
So 22?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Hopefully
you
that
skewer it with-
vaporizes
you
it.
skewer it with the rapier, and it it's like dazed and like is all hypnotized, looking at whatever his little colors and stuff that he's doing in front of it, and it like chortles around for a minute, and then because it has like a little face on it too, like this little living fire, and it looks really mean, like really angry all of a sudden, and it like and it pops and throws magma and fire everywhere, and you two get hit by it.
Oh my goodness.
You guys get to make a DC 11 dex save.
21. No, 19.
Nat 1.
Oh, you're lucky.
Get
You're
to
lucky,
reroll.
you get to reroll it.
Get to
You're
reroll.
halfling.
Okay.
Yeah.
18.
All right, so you'll each take 2 damage.
I look up at Lorik and I ask if he's okay.
Yep.
Because I'm a good sidekick and I tried to help him.
Your turn.
Oh. Do I have to make another con save to hold on? And do I take the damage at the beginning of my turn? Is the other question. I
You
guess.
take a con save to
He
avoid
made
damage.
one
You
to
can
hold on when he
hold
took the
to it.
damage.
It shouldn't be double.
Stubborn
before,
dwarves.
Before he got this, I want.
I'm gonna also holler that if you smash it, it blows up and it hurts. I'm trying to
Okay,
warn the dwarf.
It has to use a bonus action to inflict the damage again.
Oh, okay. So it'll be on.
So
this
you're,
turn.
but you have, yeah. And so since you made, if you don't drop the object, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. So,
Okay. I'm gonna second wind
okay.
and heal 7.
Fighters are so
Fighters.
cool.
You can have this.
All right, so makes it a normal attack.
Yep. Ooh, 13.
That'll hit.
All right. For 11.
You kill it. So you smash it, and like you just flatten it, and for a minute it pops back up and does the same like angry face thing. It gets bigger, and then pops and throws magma all over you.
Ooh, I think I make my save. 15.
Take 1.
Yay!
I watch just a little bit fall on him and him go like this, and I'm like, I told you!
It's in my beard.
Just pat right here.
Okay.
There you go.
I will cast Sacred Flame on the last one.
Okay.
So it's DC 13
What
Dex
type of damage does it do?
Radiant.
Okay. At 15.
Okay.
All my creatures are immune to Sacred Flame, apparently. I don't think you...
I hit a goblin.
Did you hit a goblin? That's right, the one that was running away. All right, Amboth, your time to shine as the hero.
All right. I'm just gonna give everybody. I got this guy. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna use my
Okay.
because I don't.
Didn't you have that last attack?
No, he had his sacred.
I'm just saying that you have
Radiant.
advantage last attack.
Well, I need it.
I believe in you.
Double digits. 22.
There you go. That'll hit.
Yes. And I'm gonna do my divine smite. Can I borrow a D8?
He's like, no, I'm killing this thing.
Yeah, this thing is going. I'm not gonna look like a fool again. No, I'm not. So that's gonna be 10, 17. What's that number? L? Oh, that's a 2. Yeah. 19. That's 22 damage.
Do you get to reroll ones and twos on that too?
22.
I don't think so. I think it's just with my great weapon.
All right.
I mean,
Go ahead and make a saving throw because it explodes in fiery magma all over you.
17.
All right. So you pass, so you take 1 damage, and then it gets halved again because I rolled snake eyes on the damage. And so you take nothing.
I will casually curtsy at him.
Now, something really interesting happens, however, at the end of this. As you're like getting the fire and magma off of your weapons, ruins start glowing on your rapier.
I look at Lork. What's this?
Actually, it seems familiar to you.
Does it?
Like this is a little more of what your weapon looked like before.
So.
Your power grows.
And as the magma comes up, it leaves like red fiery ruins along the edge, the thin edge of the blade for a brief moment, and then it cools. But when it's done cooling, your weapon looks in better condition. It looks more like it did before,
This is cool.
and it is now a +1 rapier.
Shiny.
+1 here, and then that'll be a 6 instead of a 5. Does +1 also
does damage too.
Does the
It
damage in this
is 2 hit and damage both.
Okay. So then, and +1 to the damage. Right there.
And I think I was going to throw this maul for one of those slings. Hang on to it.
And once the last one is slain as well, the magma vents seem like they cool, and the red glow goes down, and you're left back in a darkened chamber.
Except for our little glowy lights.
Except for your glowy light. But you do feel for just the briefest of moments as if some great and terrible will had passed over you. And the only reason it didn't see you was either because of the light or because of your location in this volcano.
Well, that felt weird.
Well, now we get to try to come down this volcano in the darkness.
At least we're not running down
You
there.
guys feel that evil?
I don't feel evil as well as you do. My daughter was just here. What are you saying?
No, something like
Should have put a pin in there.
passed by
Change
us.
modes.
Some evil passed by us. I felt it for the briefest of moments. Something is watching for us. We should be careful.
I scoop up dirt and put it in my pouch.
Okay.
If there is any to scoop.
Yeah.
It's not just solid rock.
Yeah, it's not solid rock. It's kind of that almost like obsidian
Silt.
shards and sand, yeah.
Is anybody in need of healing?
Um,
All right. I'll
Oh yeah, you don't have any hit points, do you?
No.
I heal you for
Taking half damage hurts.
8.
Oh, man, that doesn't hurt so bad anymore, though.
He's got a few burns and stuff on him, and you go and you
That's like
do
every
your
one of my
healing
hit
power on
points.
him, and he's all back to good.
It's like, oh,
I am feeling a little singed.
You two?
Mm.
I got you.
Oh, excellent.
Use my lay on hands.
Ooh, yeah.
How much you giving him?
Stroke his beard.
Ooh.
And how much you need?
I'm down 6.
I'll give you 6.
Oh, excellent.
What it is?
Thank you. What it is?
Doink.
I have a couple burns, but nothing too terrible.
Do you need help as well? I will help you as well.
I'm only down 5 hit points.
I'll give you 4. That's all I got.
I'm going to climb down and analyze this silt.
All right.
I start to follow him and then make sure that when we hit like rougher spots that
It's easier climbing down than it is climbing up. Gravity's working with you and not against you as much, and so you guys manage to get back down, and it takes about half the time.
Is there any fauna outside? Or is it...
No, it stops at the base of the volcano.
Okay.
But yeah, about an hour later, you guys get to the bottom, and so it's at that point it's pushing about 10 o'clock at night. The village is still like alive and like in anticipation. When you guys hear the cries when they see you climbing down as you get closer. You know, cheers when you come.
I go straight for the boat.
Okay.
I follow him.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. Hey, Des Moines. Say we go visit our friend if he's awake. See how he's doing. Maybe tell him the news.
Yes. I believe so, yes.
Loper, will you come with us
Of course.
to help these godless people? Maybe find some faith that they can do things for themselves. That they can find the gods again. They're not gone. I believe we can do this.
It's good to have your optimism at times such as these.
Yes.
And he says it, I'm saying that honestly, not sarcastically.
So you three heading to the. So you see that human guy. He's like sitting outside the tent, like cross-legged, right out in front of it, like keeping guard almost. But his like head is kind of bowed, like he's tired.
Yeah, it's probably kind of late.
It's 10 o'clock. I mean, but yeah, it's people who are used to getting up and going to bed with the sun.
Mm.
But yeah, he like as you get close, like his head snaps up, and you can see there's like tears streaming down his face.
What is wrong, my friend?
He passed about an hour back. He's been a guiding light and a landmark for our people.
Sorry for your loss.
He
But he will have rest now that he's moved on.
he came to briefly. Felt the stone in his hand, and he like has the stone. He like goes to hand it like back to you. About an hour ago, and said, I knew they were the ones. And then he breathed out his last. I think he was very honored to have met you.
It was honored to meet him. It's good to see familiar faces.
Is there anything more our village can do for you?
Do not think so. You have helped us greatly by providing us with supplies and helping us fix our ship. But we'll probably sail in the morning.
We can make huts available if you require places to sleep for the night.
that would be well.
It's the least we can do.
Appreciate that.
Is there anything we can do to help with his last rites? I do not know what your traditions are for somebody who has passed away.
We usually just burn the body so it cannot rise again.
Then let us assist you in these last rites. Loper, maybe you would like to say a few words to...
Every time you say last rites, like his face kind of crinkles in confusion, like he has no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, that's okay. It's gonna be like, maybe you can say something to help his spirit pass on back to his kin, back to the stone.
Kind of look at him strangely when he says stone, but I will be happy to speak for him.
Does everybody that pass rise? Does everybody that pass, do they rise? Do they come back if they're
We've
not
been
burned?
told it happens. We've never had it happen here because we've destroyed all the bodies before they can.
Who will lead your people now?
I am.
Falls to me.
We wish you luck.
Battling with the idea of him being burnt. Not how we treat our people. But undead, not acceptable either.
I don't think he would want his body to return and
No,
harm those that he spent his life caring for.
no, I agree.
Grimoine, the greatest artifacts are created in fire, are they not?
They are.
Let us forge him into the greatest artifact in our memories. Okay. Well,
So yeah, he goes in, like if you go follow him in, like help bring the body out. Like they don't waste any time doing this really. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, no, this is like, they don't really have like a funeral rite. It's more of just
Get
okay,
dead.
Yeah, if they're dead, now we have to do this.
Do
It
it
seemed like
before
even
they
the
come
hour
back.
that he waited was probably out of respect for you.
Oh. Oh. All right.
So they're like,
Yeah.
let's do this.
I'll ask him what happens if they wait.
I've never seen it, but I'm told they rise within a day or two.
It's good to know.
The light of the globes will slow it down, but not prevent it completely.
Okay,
All right.
we'll assist.
Yes.
All right. So you guys, yeah, he goes a little ways out of the village, and looks like there's like a place where they've prepared for this kind of thing to happen. And there's already, you know, like nearby, like stacked wood and whatnot. Like just once again, not like in anticipation of him passing, just in case anybody does.
Right.
And they quickly build kind of a bear to put him on and cover him. They have some kind of like, kind of almost sweet-smelling oils that they pour on the body as well. And sometimes people like to say farewell. Give you a moment to say any words you have.
Is there a good spot to speak so that everyone can see me?
Yeah, and like, not the whole village came out. Like,
Sure.
probably about a third of them did, though. Not really any of the children.
Okay. So I'll stand there and I'll look at everyone who's still here and say, I did not know your leader well, but I know that he would not ask you to grieve for him, but to work as you have been to improve the lives of your fellow community, your villagers. Be true to his name and let him move on and rest in eternal peace. And then when I finish, the fire will like blaze up and the ground will shake.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
So that happens.
That happens.
Yes.
Okay, well, maybe we should get our friends and rest for the night so that we can
Let's
leave,
give him the silent vigil for a bit.
leave in the morning.
All right. Meanwhile, back on the boat,
On a boat.
That's you, too.
Yep, I'm in bottom.
Just analyzing the.
Yeah, taking a look at the dirt. Identify. Detect magic. I'll
Nothing magic about it.
run through the whole
Yeah.
gambit, and then I just sit and brood.
Okay, that's your turn.
That's my
Nice.
I watch him poke at the dirt, hold the light.
I think it was lab assistant.
I ignore her.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's a one-sided loyalty.
All right. Well, we're gonna wrap session here, I think, and we'll pick up in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and award some XP really quick, and we'll see if my math is still on or not. So the battle during the storm is worth 100 XP, although that was a very short battle, but that was it was a good use of your power there.
Good job.
Role playing through the initial parts with the villagers and the dwarf and everything, it's worth an extra 50 XP. I do award XP in this game for things other than just combat. And then it's another 75 XP for getting up the volcano and interacting with Shanae, your daughter, and then 75 more for the final fight, which should be 300 XP tonight, which will take you guys halfway to 3rd level. So you should be at 600 total at this point. All right. And once again, I really hope that everybody watching has really enjoyed the story so far and just enjoyed watching the game and going with us on this adventure. We have a lot more planned for it, and we'll be back, of course, next week at 7 o'clock to do the next episode. Any parting thoughts from anybody before we leave for the evening here?
Blast out to all your friends. We're excited to do this. We just want to send a big thank you, I think, from everybody here at the table.
Yep.
Especially Chaos and everybody here at Chaotic Night Network. We got affiliate on Twitch, so yay!
Yes, that was a big milestone.
That's
for
a
us.
huge milestone
We're
for us,
excited
so
about
we're
that.
really excited. But it doesn't stop here. We want to keep it growing and keep it going, so we need your help to do that. Thanks for tuning in tonight, though.
Yep. Anyone else? Any shout outs? Any family, friends watching out there?
My daughter Sarangi.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for tuning in. We hope to see you guys all next week at 7 o'clock on Thursday. Have a good night.